Welcome, everybody, to the surprise edition of Fat Guys on a Little Podcast.
Keep you on your toes, people. Keep you
I'm
on
your
toes.
co-host, Steve, as always, joined by
Charles here.
and live via satellite BV. How you doing, Bill?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. We had a couple Wigingtons call me this week or contact me this week. Where's the podcast? I'm like, we don't know.
Charles works in hotels and it's jacked up over there.
Sometime, someday, somewhere. You never know where. We're like one of those pop-up restaurants that just randomly show up in different
Check
areas.
our Twitter feed.
Yeah,
We'll let you
yes.
know.
So unfortunately, we'll get to it when we get to it. So this week we got a death, very big bummer for Charles. Some college football, and we're off a little bit, so we're gonna review a little bit from last week, preview a little bit for this coming week because we're like right in the middle right now. So, and then of course we got a taste test. Unfortunately, Bill can't taste this lovely duck jerky, and it's actually something tasty too. Charles had, and then we got some reviews and all a bunch of stuff. So let's start it off. Now it's been a while since we've been. Last Sunday was on our podcast, right?
I don't know when we record.
It was about a week and a
Even
half
I can't
ago.
follow our schedule.
Yeah.
I don't know when it is.
So, in that
you tell
time-
me. I don't know.
In that 10-day period, the Electoral College officially made Joe Biden our next president. That did happen, and also the vaccine started rolling out in that week and a half span there. And
Did Michelle get it as a?
next week, the Moderna
okay.
already coming, so
Yeah.
she will have it. She's on vacation next week, but the first day she gets back,
Good.
she's making her coworker go first.
Wow.
Well, just because it's scheduled that way. So her coworker's gonna be on Friday.
There's
Michelle-
no way any side effects are going to show up in like 24
Well, no,
hours.
her coworker's
I
getting
don't
it
know.
Friday. Michelle's getting it Monday, so she's got a weekend to see if that woman gets Bell's palsy. So she's got that going for her. But so that's coming out. The COVID vaccines are rolling out. And now another thing was the big this week, the stimulus package. Of course, Bill's not going to see a red cent of any of this, but that's because Bill makes the big bucks. Bill's like, fuck you guys. So there was a stimulus package. It was 5,000 pages long. I don't know if you heard about that.
And it's weird too, because like they weirdly they shoehorn in other things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you hear like,
And it wasn't
oh,
just Democrats because
just everyone does it.
yeah, there was some horse doping bill that
It's
added
so
in. It's like,
weird.
what is this?
I don't know how
All
like,
this money to foreign
I
countries.
gotta go watch like School of Rock and figure out how like
Yeah.
all this bill on Capitol Hill shit works.
Also known as pork.
Yeah, pork. What do they call that? Pork barrel or pork belly? I always forget.
Oh my
Pork
God.
barrel, yeah. I looked that up. I was always wondering because Randy brought it in about pork. I go, where did that come from? You don't just slap a thing of pork into a bill. What is pork? So it comes from the expression pork barrel. It goes back to slave times where that you would give it to a slave. It's on Wikipedia. Look it up. Very interesting background to the pork slang that is used for that.
Well, what's funny too is like you're kind of talking about. So Trump slammed it.
Yes,
based
of all
on
people.
Well, I think he is definitely setting up. He's not going away, people. I feel like he is setting up to still keep his constituents and his people that are backing him. I don't think we've seen the last of old Donnie. I'll just tell you that right now because he's setting up to come back and,
Yeah. And he wants to get $2,000 to everybody,
yeah.
except for Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts on that, by the way, but that's another story.
Okay. You don't want to share with the group?
Well, no, it's fine. It's just that, I mean, if we're going to target people based upon income, then maybe and the concern is, my concern has nothing to do with, I mean, it does have something to do with the pork, but also the fact that we're just, freely printing money and worrying about it later. If we're doing that, then and the stimulus, if we're really concerned about getting stimulus to the people who need it, why should we be sending stimulus checks to people who have not had their jobs or their incomes interrupted at all, even if they do make less than the threshold?
Be quiet.
I mean, is Steve Markey the type of individual that this stimulus was really intended to help?
Yes, I am.
Do you need the help, Steve?
Yes,
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I'm gonna take free money. I got bills, bro. What you fucking?
I like at some point I kind of see where BB's coming
he's
from.
right.
Like at some point we just can't print money. I don't know how. I'm not an economist.
They ain't worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
Well,
Print it up. Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, but like I can't help but like the problem is when you don't know what they truly feel and where they're coming from, so it always makes you like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. So it's like I'll take it, but I don't know.
I feel like the $2,000 and why he came out and did that is he's pissed at everyone. and this is a way to even get back at the Republicans that didn't, back him. And I think it's his way to stick it to everybody. Like, you know what? No, I want 2,000. He wants to look good to the people and piss off.
I think it's
else.
more of like his future. That's how I took it. I took it as like, imagine, you're some guy in middle America who already was a Donald J. Trump supporter.
And now he's gonna give you 2
And
grand.
now he's going to give you 2 G's on the way out the door when it didn't have to. That's going to stick with a lot of people. I think I could be wrong. He could be just worried about the welfare of a lot of people.
Well,
I
that's
don't
the last
know.
thing on the list.
Yeah,
I think you're
don't
right.
know.
It sets him up in the future, and it spites a lot of people.
And
right
if
now.
he tanks the economy, he's on his way out. He could say it was good when I was there. I don't know what's going on.
That's true. So just print more. So
You think you get a pretty good indicator of how much stroke he still has with the Republican Party when they start voting Monday, looking to vote on an override because they need a 2/3 majority to override any of his vetoes. And it'd be interesting to see how many Republicans side
back him.
against him. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
well, we're not political podcast, but that's just a little bit. It's a big news for everybody. So hopefully you'll get some more money. Obviously, it won't be here before Christmas.
I mean, the thing is,
you're looking at what, end of January before you see anything.
there are some people, to BV's point, that are in some dire straits.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting here like 2 assholes or whatever. And that's why the podcast on random. I can't keep. I'm still working, but like, there's a lot of assholes that are a lot of people rather that don't.
Yeah,
Don't know what's
especially
going
in the restaurant
on.
industry.
Yeah,
you know.
firsthand, I know all too well about that.
All right, so let's move on into some sports. We'll keep it moving quick. Now, a Hall of Famer died this week. Real shocker out of nowhere. Kevin Green, 58 years old. He was a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Rams too, right, Bill? He played for the Rams?
Correct.
Yeah, the Rams and the Steelers.
And the Niners too. I want to say
Did he?
randomly they were talking about. Yeah,
oh, maybe he did late. Most of his career was with the Steelers.
yeah.
And he even played
He went
under,
into the Hall as a Steeler and all that stuff.
he even
too.
played under Bill Cowher.
Yeah.
Also played for the Panthers.
Oh, yeah, he did real near the end of his career. I forgot about that. Any thoughts on that, Charles? Since you're the Steelers fan.
I texted him midweek. I go to a large chart, and I don't know. He was cool to watch back in the day. You know what I mean? In Three Rivers and stuff like that. And I don't know. Him opposite of Greg Lloyd and all that stuff is a big time for me when I was younger and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, Greg Lloyd was crazy, man. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
He might have been the
It
last.
was what 95, 91. I want to say was Lloyd and Kevin Green.
I feel like Kevin Green was probably one of the last classes of the steroid era. Probably.
Yeah, I would argue. Yeah,
So maybe it's infective. Maybe it's concussion based. I don't think it's concussion based.
he's only 58, and in modern society, that sounds kind of relatively young. You
Yeah,
would say
yeah.
so. There had to be something else going on there. I don't know. So sucks, but he was number 3 in sacks. I was reading everywhere. So pretty big deal. Yeah,
He did have one of the he had a prolific motor.
Yeah.
I mean, he had one of the
Listen to
most constant
Collinsworth over here.
motors of no, but I
got
mean,
the motor
seriously,
all
he was
day.
a huge energy guy.
Yeah.
A lot like
man.
John Randall in that way. Just super intense and always.
I want to
hyped
say he
up,
wanted
so.
to do some coaching stuff too. I want to say too.
Yeah, he was.
Well, don't forget the key thing
Linebacker.
though. Right after he retired, he did 2 years at WCW.
Oh, well,
Yeah, he was a wrestler for 2 years.
don't forget that.
Him and McMichaels, Steve McMichaels, they were wrestlers for a while. So, RIP to Kevin Green, former Hall of Fame linebacker. Now, also, since, like I said, it's been about 10 days since we've been on, the other big news, the Cleveland Indians have pretty
Yeah.
much shit-canned the Indians,
About time.
but they're going to have an Indians retirement tour this year, which is weird. If you're going to get rid of the name, just get rid of the name. If
I
you're
guess
gonna
my
wait-
question is like, where does this stop in the pain? Like, are so the Seminoles got permission from the tribes
Yeah.
people or whatever? Like, but where is this?
And allegedly, so did
to
the
me, just
Blackhawks.
wipe it all out everywhere. I don't
Blackhawks,
know.
and so did the Chiefs. The Chiefs.
Oh, they do have some
I
kind
guess
of
there-
approval.
some kind of thing with the Chiefs. It was an Indian mayor at the time when the Chiefs were there, and he approved it. I don't know. But the one thing I do know that I've heard on the radio, they're not very happy with the Blackhawks logo, which is kind of iconic.
It's not. It's not
like
like
an
as bad as
Indian
what is
head.
Chief Wahoo or whatever.
Yeah,
Chief
yeah.
Wahoo's a little. Let me
little-
flip it over to BV so we can all see Chief Wahoo's a little sketchy.
Yeah, he's a little.
Yeah, Chief Wahoo looks like a smiling Indian. It's a little bit much. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, so you got 1 year to collect all your Cleveland Indian stuff. And then they're going to be some rumors are the Cleveland Rockers because they're the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they got the song "The Rockers." There's going to be a couple others, but that's the main one I've been hearing. I don't know about that, but
Well, because wait, don't you already have the Rockies?
yeah,
That's a little close. I don't know.
Cleveland Rockers. I don't know, but
What is BV's theory on this? What do you got, BV?
I don't really have any. I have heard that the Spiders.
Oh,
are
yeah,
another
that's the other one I heard.
possibility.
Spiders?
the Negro League team that was there was called the Spiders.
Oh,
So they were. thinking
I
about
haven't heard. That's interesting. I've never heard of a team maybe outside of like Double A ball or something. It's not. I've never heard of Spiders as a mascot. It's kind of
Rockers,
original.
Spiders, yeah.
You could probably do some cool marketing tie-in with spider stuff
You'd have
too.
to change your colors to black, though, right?
Yeah, but still, I'm all for the spiders. I think
Maybe
that's kind of
black and
cool.
silver, yeah.
Ain't bad.
So collect up your stuff if you think it's going to be collectible. You got 1 year. So hurry up on it. I don't know. I never did buy any Redskin stuff, so none of it's going to be worth anything. It was so mass produced.
Yeah, I was gonna
saying,
say, like at some point, but just change all the names. People are so wound up about this shit. Just change them.
This should just be the Cleveland Baseball Club.
like the Washington football team.
Yeah, so they can't be team, just be
it's
club.
such a weird time. Just change them all. Just have all these leagues get together and be like, we're not down with this. Change it.
You know what guys
Okay.
it reminds me of is like back in the day when college football or Madden didn't have the rights.
Yeah.
And it would just be like Washington.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of reminds me
It
of.
does have that vibe of
Yeah,
it.
it's like in real life, they don't have the rights to their own name, so they're just going to be Cleveland. All right, now we're going to preview what to watch this week. It's the holidays, not a lot to watch, but there is a little bit
There's
of a
actually quite a bit of stuff coming, though.
Yeah.
We're going to talk
But this is a
about
little
some
bit of a
stuff.
sports preview. It's a little ahead. So Christmas Day, you can watch the NFL. Minnesota is taking on the New Orleans Saints. You can watch that Christmas Day. And then the NBA's big kickoff. We talked about this in a previous podcast.
Yeah.
They love
Steve
Christmas
called it,
Day.
yeah.
They do. So they got a whole lineup, and I put some of the better matchups on here. I thought Lakers versus Mavericks, even though the Mavericks have been down a little bit. Pelicans versus the Heat. Nets versus the Celtics, and Warriors versus the
The
Bucks.
Warriors Bucks definitely stands out too. I would
Yeah,
argue any football
I
or
think
basketball
that's the
fan
late,
rather.
late one. No, there might be a Denver one that's at 10:30. So it starts at noon all the way through till midnight. You can watch it. So if you're a basketball fan, Bill, are you interested in any of those games?
I might watch them. I'm probably going to watch the football game first and foremost. But the thing about the Warriors is with Klay Thompson tearing his Achilles on draft
They
day,
suck.
they're a little bit thin again. They opened up last night against
The Nets,
Brooklyn and got beat by 26. So
They don't have the
they might be
weapons, huh?
they might be struggling to have a winning record again this year. Whereas otherwise, it looked like they were on their way
Side note,
back to.
Did you see the interview with Charles Barkley and Kevin Durant?
He said something about the one-word interview, and he went off
So
on
Charles
him. I
Barkley,
caught
he
it
didn't
like
go off on him. He asked him a question like, "So you're training off season, and you got ready for the season? Tell us about that." And Kevin Durant just goes, "Yeah," and then the camera goes back to Barkley. He just. Like what the hell, man?
We
It
talk
was
about
pretty
like
funny.
on this show. We talk about the national treasures that are The Rock and Tom Hanks. I got to put Charles Barkley right
Charles
there,
Barkley
too.
and Shaq
He
together
is
are pretty good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is.
That is the hands down best
Because he went off
pre
on-
and post game show.
He went off on old boy calling him stupid too, wasn't it? Kyrie.
Yeah,
Kyrie calling him dumb because he don't want to do. You're a basketball player. Like, shut up and do the interview. It's really good, man. He's really spot on, man.
That
Charles
TBS,
Barkley is a treasure.
He
they're
does not care.
that pre and post game show on TBS is better than anything the NFL has.
It
really is.
good, yeah.
I know you love the zombie coach, but
Yeah, how dare you?
so you got some sports to watch Christmas Day. If you don't want to watch Wonder Woman or Soul, you got a lot of sports to pick
So
from
all
as
those
well.
come out on Christmas Day, just so I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
So we don't get them early, like Soul and Wonder Woman are Christmas Day.
Yeah, well, they might be midnight at Christmas Eve.
But nonetheless, we got a lot of content, a lot of stuff going on.
I'm
tomorrow.
curious on how it's going
On
to chug.
Christmas.
Like a million of
yeah.
us all watching it,
Yeah.
saying millions and millions. We'll see.
Especially because people are really positive on Soul. People
Yeah.
are really like,
Wonder Woman's been pretty positive, not super positive.
yeah. But
uh,
the Soul one, people are like, yeah, Pixar's
I didn't
back
realize-
at it and
I
stuff.
didn't realize Jamie Foxx played the main
Yeah,
voice.
yeah. I hope as long as it's got an Inside Out vibe, I'm in. It sounds like it does, so I'm definitely I'm excited for it. It's good when, like I said, Pixar really nails it. So
Yeah. All right. So that's a little look at Christmas Day for some sports. Now we're going to go again. It's been 10 days, so we're going to cover some of the conference games. I found it weird.
Conference championship.
Championship games. I found it weird. I don't know if you guys did that. The conference championship games were on along with other regular games.
Well, because
it was so
I
weird.
saw your note about this. It's just because the season was so odd. They were
Yeah.
like figuring out, man, they need another game. Just put them on there.
So it's
I
like
don't know.
Texas A&M and Tennessee are on. I'm
Yeah.
like, I started thinking, what championship are they in? I was like, oh, they're not. They're just regular. So I thought it was very weird how that was handled. But it's
Got to make it do.
It's that year.
We're recording on a Wednesday. You got to
Yeah.
fit it.
Did you see how many games were canceled on top of it? I mean, it could have been a lot more weird.
Yeah. Well, I know Michigan's one of them. They chickened out the last part of the season.
Oh.
Don Brown no longer, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they fired Don Brown.
But Harbaugh, no conversation with Harbaugh, huh?
Well, they fired the defensive coordinator, and it looks like they're keeping him. So we'll see how that goes. So first up is our boys, ACC. Their first year in the ACC, Notre Dame versus Clemson. I got the score reversed, 34-10. Clemson destroyed them. I mean, this wasn't even competitive.
Notre Dame didn't get off the bus.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was for a first quarter they won 3-0. Then they picked Clemson off.
Yeah.
I thought, oh.
Yeah. We showed up. We showed up.
They
Oh.
blew their wad in that first 5 minutes. Sunshine went crazy on them. It was over. Bill, as a non-Notre Dame fan, Bill, what are your thoughts on it?
I thought that Notre Dame squandered opportunities early in the game that ended up just getting away from them. If they had been able to convert on those, it could have been a much different game. But after that happened, it seemed like the entire air went out of the game, the stadium, the team, and then it was just pretty much a beating from there.
Yeah. And he summed it up. And
You
to
can't. And again, Clemson's one of those teams that if you're given any opportunity, you have to jump on it. If you're going to win, you got to
they
take
shanked the field goal.
everything.
And then they were
You
kicking
gotta
field
be
goals instead of
perfect.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
you
were
can't
done.
leave those points.
Yeah. And to me, after that beating, even as a long-term Notre Dame fan, I felt they shouldn't be in the playoffs. That was
Well,
that was pretty bad.
We did, and we talked pre-show though. But the problem is, so in theory, if you don't want to go with the dark horse Cincinnati bullshit that everyone's buying into, which me and BB are all on the
against
same
Tulsa.
page.
Come on.
Like, shut up with that crap.
They're
with
going
this
to beat
random non-power five. Like, kiss my ass with that. But like, so the point is though, if you didn't put Notre Dame in, you could make the argument for them boys at A&M. Mm-hmm. A&M already lost.
Which is a Charles favorite.
Yeah, I love Jimbo. It doesn't get more country than Jimbo. But anyway, they already lost to Bama. That's their one loss of the year. So
and badly, too.
What do we do? It's
it doesn't
kind
make
of
a difference.
tough, and I don't know.
And as it sits right now, so Notre Dame's going to play Alabama in the playoffs. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. That's coming down the road. So next up was the Big Ten Championship. And this game, the score doesn't look all that close. It ended up Ohio State 22,
Ray
Northwestern 10.
Grimer, yeah.
Northwestern was like 10-6 until late in the third.
Yeah.
Then Ohio State pulled away a little bit, and Northwestern shot themselves in the foot too. They threw picks in the end zone. The quarterback fumbled.
Did you hear the talk that what's Pat Fitzgerald's going to coach the Lions? Did you guys hear that? The Northwestern coach is like, yeah, I've heard that multiple times this past week. I was like, whoa,
I haven't heard that one.
yeah, pretty
I haven't
interesting.
heard really any
Career
coaching
suicide.
news for Lions.
He's calling him dead.
Well, I give cats off to Northwestern. They put up a fight, even though it didn't look like it at the end. But they did. It was a close game. Ohio State, they kept insisting on passing, and they were screwing up, throwing picks. And then once they started running, the guy ran for 330-something yards. He had the highest single game total for Ohio State.
And I think we've chronicled it enough on this show. Like, that's like modern football. Like, where me and BB are screaming at the television. Like, you can run the ball.
Yeah,
like,
no, you are
okay.
allowed. It's not illegal.
Yeah, like this whole modern. And again, you're talking about with my squad, still 3 losses in a row off Monday night. I'm screaming at the TV on that one. Like, you can't just want 110-year-old Ben Roethlisberger to do everything for you. Like, at some point, but James Conner was out, and they say that they might have sat him, and I'm digressing into a whole other league, but I'm just saying, like, modern football just refuses to run the goddamn rock, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. So that was that one. Then, so of course we go to the SEC, and Alabama outlast Florida, 52-46.
Good game.
I'd be honest, I fell asleep at halftime.
Oh, you did?
I didn't catch. Bill, you're the Alabama expert here. What did you think of the game?
Well, it was closer than it should have been, but so Alabama's defense has improved a lot over the year, but there's 2 major weaknesses that they have that got exploited in this game. They don't match up very well with big wide receivers, like tall wide receivers. That was a bad matchup. and quarterbacks that can get out of the pocket and run tend to give them problems too. And just both of those sort of, were hitting on all cylinders for Florida, and it made it a really interesting and a far better game than I was comfortable with. But
it was a good game. It was the best game of the championship weekend, I think.
Yeah,
I was
I think so
entertained, but
too, yeah.
shame on you for falling asleep. You literally missed the best game of the
I
weekend.
was bummed.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now the other championships, the MAC happened. Ball State won 38-28 over Buffalo. So the Ball State's your MAC champion. Okay. Now the Pac-12 was kind of interesting because the team that was supposed to be there didn't go because of COVID, and Oregon stepped in and won 31-24 over
USC was kind of like the dominant force in that league going into that night.
Undefeated, and they lose 31-24. Probably screwed them out of a playoff
The
berth.
Pac-12 just was a mess of a year for the Pac-12.
they were only ranked like 13 or 14 going into that game, though. I seriously doubt they were going to be able to squeak into the playoffs, even if they'd beaten Oregon.
I don't know, man. You never know
They
with
total
those playoffs
bed
anyway.
grabbing.
Yeah. And then the AACC, I think it is. I'm not sure.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. This is everyone's darling. Cincinnati wins 27-24 over Tulsa. Like I said, they weren't very impressive. I'll tell you that much. They struggled against Tulsa, but they won the game. So Cincinnati finished the season undefeated, and everyone's dark horse of playoffs need to be bigger so Cincinnati can be in there.
So every year we get this bullshit team.
Yeah.
Every year me, you, and B, we go, God damn it, with this bullshit team every year.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Central Florida. No, get here, South Florida, whatever you
Coastal
want.
Carolina is the other darling.
Oh,
As a Bama fan, I'd much rather be looking at Cincinnati in the playoff than looking at Notre Dame.
Yeah. So let's go into the playoff preview. Like we said earlier, Alabama versus Notre Dame. That's the first round game, and then Ohio State versus Clemson. Notre Dame going in is about a 20-point underdog.
Let me derail you for a second.
Yes.
Leading into this, the big controversy that was leading into this was the fact they were still going to play at the Rose Bowl, but then they weren't going to have any teams. And no family and friends able to attend the game. Brian Kelly went off on the NC2A about this is bullshit that you're hosting this one game here, yet the other team gets to have their families and friends and all this shit. Did you see that whole article?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so they were, again, California's under that really strict lockdown. So they were still going to play the game at the Rose Bowl, and Brian Kelly's like, I'm just speaking for my players. We might not go because what's the point if you can't allow family and friends to attend? But meanwhile, the other game you could. That's bullshit. And so they eventually moved it. It's not going to be the Rose Bowl or whatever. They moved that game.
Where's it at now?
Jerry
Dome? It seems like it's
yeah,
always at Jerry
something
Dome.
like that. Yeah,
It is Jerry Dome.
It was kind of good the way he went off. He was like, "This is bullshit." Like,
That is true. If the whole state of California is locked down, why would you even be having that game?
And that's what. And it took. I think he was a big vocal voice. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. They're going to get slaughtered. I would man up and bet Bill 50, but I don't want to lose $50 for no reason.
I kind of want to watch.
Just not smart this year. What'd you say?
There's no need to bet here.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's a puncher's chance, right? There's a Buster Douglas chance.
Yeah.
A lot of things got to go.
There's some issues on the Bama defense, and
Yeah,
I'm
a
hoping
little
they
bit,
can
yep.
exploit it. And like we talked about earlier with the Clemson game, if Notre Dame can pounce on all opportunities, they stand a chance. They've got talent, but like you said, in the Clemson game, they just didn't pounce on it, and you can't do that.
The only difference, though, I'll say this, and this is not, I'm not trying to talk any trash.
Mm-hmm.
The Florida game shows that even with everything clicking, you still have to score 40 or 50 points to win.
Yeah.
Which,
Notre Dame can get some crazy
Notre Dame's
offense
capable.
going.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
Yeah, they have a legitimate chance.
They have a chance, but it's not too high.
like you said, the
I
smart
wouldn't
money.
bet a lot of money
you
on
said
that one.
20-point fave.
20-point underdog, right? It was like 19.5 or something. And then Ohio State versus Clemson, and Clemson is a 7. I just looked it up, a 7.5-point favorite. It might change between now and then.
I don't know what this. My opinion is. I didn't want to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
what is this Ohio State team? Like, that's my thing right now.
A 6-win team.
What's that?
It's a 6-win team.
Ohio State is usually stacked and all this
I'm
kind
not
of stuff.
sold
but
on that
like,
Justin Fields kid. I'm really not.
I think that they're going to have to play a really good game, well above any of the competition that they've played
They
throughout
need
the
to
year.
run the ball. That's
So
the
you
number
were
one thing.
screaming at the VV. You got any insight?
Not a ton. I mean, it's funny because I was texting a little bit with Wiggs during the game about the play calling because Ohio State probably should have pulled away in that game a lot sooner, but their play calling was horrible. They would run 2 straight, especially in the second half when the running game opened up. They'd call 2 straight plays, get 60 yards down the field, 2 runs, and then next thing you know, they throw the ball 3 times and kick a field goal.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense at all. But with the exception of that one, because he was telling me that running back typically hasn't played like this. This was kind of a first-time thing. So they're not going to run for 300 yards against Clemson. They're not. I think either Fields goes off and keeps them in the game, or it's probably going to be kind of similar to. Didn't they play each other? Was it last year or the year before?
They got smoked when they played.
Where
Clemson.
it's kind of a.
It's like 30.
I think that's a game that could get away from Ohio State pretty fast too.
They need. I think
I don't
they
have
need
an opinion.
balance, and they need to maybe shy a little more towards the run.
Keep Clemson honest is what you're screaming. Yeah.
Don't go out there and go
Keep
3
Clemson
downs
off
and
the field.
3 passes and
Clemson
punt.
off the field. Keep sunshine on the
3 passes and punt ain't gonna work for Ohio State, And after watching Fields against Northwestern's defense isn't Clemson's.
What does Clemson look like next year? Because don't they lose? Isn't ATN gone? Isn't Lawrence
they'll
gone?
just pay some more players.
Well, yeah,
They'll be fine.
Lawrence. You got to figure Lawrence is going to.
Dabo's got a
Commit to
big
the
payroll. He knows how to put them boys on there.
I mean, because the ATN guy's got to be gone too, right? I mean,
I think so.
they got to be gutted at the end of the year.
They
just reload.
They just reload, just like Alabama.
Well, I don't know that other
2
quarterback.
highest payrolls is Alabama.
Wasn't the I can't remember the guy's name, but wasn't the freshman?
You
that
want to
played
go
in
to
the
Clemson?
game
You get a
against
house.
Notre
You get a
Dame? Wasn't
car.
that freshman that played against Notre Dame? He was pretty good, wasn't he? I
You
thought he was a
saying
freshman.
some nondescript envelopes are being
Yeah.
passed around?
You know how LSU, where Odell Beckham was on the sideline handing out hundreds? Yeah, same difference. They're handing out thousands at Clemson and Alabama.
Wow.
All right. So, anyways,
I'll
Allegedly.
tell you this in our usual conversation. I hope for good games. That's
Yeah.
going to be my big thing. I want to see good games. That would be great. Like I said, for me this past weekend, I enjoyed the Bama-Florida game. I feel bad you fell asleep on it. It's the
I did,
one
I did.
gem of the weekend.
I
Yeah.
totally did. So now that you bring that up, I made these notes in midweek. So I went over the bowl games and I put some of the ones I found that were going to be kind of, I hope, kind of good to watch. There are other minor ones with different teams you probably never heard of. So these are the ones I thought we'll give I'll give you the game. You guys give me an impression of who you think is going to win. These are the ones I feel may be worth watching. They're New Year's Day games and they're a little later.
You let off with a great one. I think the first one's going to be a great one.
Yeah, the first one's the Cotton Bowl, Florida versus Oklahoma. I feel high scoring. Neither team likes defense. What do you guys think? Bill, start with you. What do you think of that game?
Well, I have a hard time kind of getting behind any Big 12 team because they get all this, all this hype. They just beat up on each other. They're still not. I don't think Oklahoma's that good. I think Florida probably wins the game. But
How many
like you
points?
said-
What's the over?
Oh, I'm saying over under
62
should
to
be like
58.
85.
Dude, it's gonna be insane. There's no defense in this game.
I'm curious. I'm gonna check to see what the over under is on that.
It's gotta be
it's
insane.
gotta be high.
There's gonna be shit. I think they're gonna start scoring 4 hours of working off. They're gonna walk. It's gonna be 32 to 35. Whoa. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go with that.
And like I said, when I was putting this together, a lot of bowl games were to be announced. There was no bowl lined up, so a lot of the traditional bowl games,
It's hard to know the line.
I don't think there's a Motor City Bowl this year. There's no.
Yeah, it's hard to justify in the COVID conditions.
Yeah, and then plus now they're running into the NFL schedule.
What is Camping World doing for advertising?
I don't know. All I know is last night I watched the BYU Central Florida one, and it was for Boca Raton. I saw so many
Raton,
the Boca
baby.
Raton Bowl. I saw so many Boca Raton commercials. I want to move to Boca Raton right now. Did you find the over under, Bill?
Yeah, over under right now. So Florida is a 3.5 point favorite. The over and under right now is 71.5.
I'm gonna take that over.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
take the
that
over. Take the over.
I think that should be about 10 points higher.
Yeah, that's a BB lock pick of the week, right? That could be that.
I think I'm gonna bet the over right now.
BB's gonna jump on the DraftKings or whatever it is.
I'll put a 10 spot on that.
So the next one up is the Peach Bowl. Now I assume the Peach Bowl is in Georgia, and the University of Georgia is playing Cincinnati.
Prove your worth. Simple.
I I think Georgia runs away with this.
I think Georgia stomps a mud hole in these people,
Yeah,
is
it's
what
probably-
my opinion.
I don't know about
I would-
28-20, something
no,
like that.
it's going to be way worse because Georgia always feels disrespected in some level because they're
Wow.
like
they lost a bunch this year.
there's something about they can't get over in the SEC. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to call it right now. They're going to stomp a mud hole in Cincy. Write that down. I'll take that. If it's a confidence bet, I'm taking number one. My highest points are going on Georgia.
The Peach
Georgia-
Bowl and Georgia.
Yeah.
Bill, what are your thoughts?
I don't know that it'll quite be a mud hole. I do think it's a little odd that Georgia's only a 6.5 point favorite.
They
in
have
this
no
game,
talent,
but,
dude. You can't compete with a Georgia talent pool. Get out of here. with that.
Georgia has a habit though, and they've kind of started playing down to teams, and I think Georgia's going to win the game. I think it should be comfortable. I don't know about stomping mud holes though. Maybe 10 points.
I told you, confidence pick. Give me that as my most valued pick. Give me Georgia on that one.
All right. So the next up is the Orange Bowl, and Charles's boys,
Them
them boys,
boys.
is taking on Mac Brown in North Carolina with those
That's a lot.
baby powder blue
I'm
outfits. I
telling
like.
you, man.
Texas A&M versus North Carolina. I like North Carolina in this one.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I think
Okay. Well, you know who I'm going to pick. So don't ask me
31-28.
on
North,
that.
I think it's going to be very close, though.
This
I
this
just
could
don't-
be the game of the week for you. Is that
I
what you
think so.
Yeah?
I just don't like Texas A&M's quarterback, that Mondo kid.
Yeah,
I'm not a big
just
fan
more
of him.
whatever Mond. I think it's
Yeah,
not Mond.
Mondo.
Yeah.
Mondo.
Kellen Mond.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mondo. I'm going Mondo.
Yeah.
He's
You know,
on the
like Mando.
Mandalorian.
He's like, where's Baby Yoda?
yeah. What do you think on this, Charles, since you're a them boys fan?
I told you, you have an affinity. towards
Brown's my
that.
boy.
I mean, Mac Brown's a really and made that program way more respectable than they should be. I would
Yeah.
argue. So, but I just think that much like you ripped on Dabo and Nick Saban, Jimbo gonna keep them boys eligible.
yeah, that's true. He knows how to cheat. So, Bill, and what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, first of all, I think if there's going to be a bet on any one of these games, this should be it. You two should bet because you both have affinities for the teams.
yeah, the battle of the Marquee Dark Horses.
But I have to say, I mean, speaking of the aforementioned stomping of mud holes and asses, I think there's a very good chance that this becomes a mud hole stomping. I think A&M blows this game out.
Oh,
I think
wow.
like 3 touchdowns or more.
Wow. Interesting. So then the final bowl game that I thought of was of interest is the Cheez-It
This is a
Bowl.
reach, I would argue.
This is the best one out of the ones
Yeah,
left.
like, it's a reach.
The University of Miami versus the Mullets of Oklahoma State. Give me Oklahoma State. I saw Miami play and they were terrible. That's when North Carolina killed them, and so I like Oklahoma State in that one, Charles.
Give me them convicts. There's another
you still want
rando.
that
Give me
turnover
break out
chain?
the turnover chain
Oh,
and
man.
cut them jerseys up real high. Let's go. I don't give a shit. Give me
And
the
Bill, what do
convicts.
you think?
The
They
fun
should
part
call it
is
the
the
overrated bowl.
oh man.
yeah, that's true.
The coach
they're
for
both-
Oklahoma State has the right haircut for Miami. That's the
That's true.
I don't know. I think you kind of take or leave either team here. I guess I'll take Oklahoma State, but
Iowa
doesn't-
State's playing in a bowl too. I forgot who they're playing
them
against.
Cyclone. That's BV's dark.
Yeah,
Horse.
that's BV's dark.
yeah, they
horse.
just missed the Big 12 championship, but they're playing against Oregon.
They
Some bowl.
missed.
No,
They
that
lost.
could be a decent game.
Yeah, that might be not too bad.
I'd rather see that than Oklahoma State and Miami.
Yeah, it was a toss up between the two. I didn't know which one to put on here, but so there you go. We're not going to do our full blown bowl picks
hard to do
'cause
this
it's
year.
hard and there's no schedule. So next year we'll have Gabe back on and we'll all go over our bowl picks next year, so we can all be wrong.
Yeah, that's a fun time.
So there's a little look. So we got a lot of football, a lot of college football coming up in the next week or so, and a little bit of NFL. NFL too is going to be on Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
and Christmas Day. So NFL's all over the place as well. So there you go. Now, Charles, let's pull out the jerky first.
Yeah, okay, let's
so
do that.
now,
So-
Bill unfortunately doesn't get to try this for Christmas. I bought our father a variety of wild
Fine.
game jerkies. Now I've tried the alligator, and the alligator was
First of all, it looks like Slim Jim. It's got the Slim
Yes.
Jim vibe to it. It's not the steakier kind.
yeah,
or
it's
anything
not the
like
kind
that.
Charles usually traditionally
Yeah.
eats. This looks more.
First of
Slim
all,
Jim.
duck can be very greasy, from what I
Ooh,
understand.
it feels greasy.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Ugh.
Oh, Steve just dropped some grease on his lap or
Oh
something.
man.
It's a very fatty bird.
Yeah. Let me just chomp this. It's got a lot of smoke to it. I'll tell you that. Whoever made this has got a lot. Buffalo Bob. Smoking the hell out of that duck. Gee,
I think because he's
Lou.
trying to hide some of the exotic flavor.
Ingredients, though, is funny. Duck and beef. I gotta tell you, that is overpoweringly smoked. It has nothing to do with the protein that's in it. It is insanely smoked.
I don't really taste much duck, do you?
I
don't
just
know.
taste random smoke in my mouth. It's like I just ate a Marlboro.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It reminds
dude.
me of that weird scotch where he drank without
Holy
the.
crap! They smoked the shit out of that.
I think they're trying to hide the bad the duck.
Yeah,
So I brought that a variety pack. There's kangaroo, wild
did they
boar.
all have that extreme
The alligator
smoke
was-
on it?
Alligator wasn't quite as smoky as that duck was.
Because I have no issue with it. It's just it's not like
It's
my
like
God,
a
you
really
just-
smoky Slim Jim is what it tastes
Yeah.
like.
That is terrible because of the manufacturer. Whoever made this, Buffalo Bob, is terrible. Holy smokes!
So if
son.
you want to try some more exotic animals, Dad has them all. Not a fan. I'd go with the regular Slim Jim. I'm a thumbs down on
well,
the,
yeah,
on the duck.
I guess, yeah,
It
I
was
guess
just funny, something to
pressed
try.
to say, yeah, but man, they smoked the shit out of that. Jesus Christ!
So now Charles also has something else we're gonna try.
Yeah, so this past week,
And Bill
again,
found it.
I talk about Stevie. Yeah, BB's got it up there. So I got it on my camera here. This is what is known as a stuffler. So it's
Not a
basically
stiffler.
it's basically a waffle iron that you can basically put some stuff on the inside of a waffle. So nothing crazy about it. You just plug it in, you fill up the bottom one, but then you get to put your deliciousness in the middle of your waffle. And then it makes a super boomba waffle. I made one with, I took like a Hungry Jack waffle mix, and I just put some bacon on the inside of it so me and Steve could try it so that Steve could give it a shot. But so far, we actually made a pizza waffle with it, and it tasted pretty decent and stuff like that. So I can't say highly enough. I love this stuff.
So how much did that cost?
It's a $50 item. So it's not.
$50.
Yeah,
You
this
must
is-
really like waffles.
I got issues with the Amazons.
You gotta stay off Amazon.
Yeah, so I made us a waffle, and I'll put us on the main here if you want to pop it over so people can see it here, Steve. So here, look at the girth on that waffle. Go ahead and show me.
As you can see, it's pretty thick waffle.
Yeah, I'll show it over to
Michelle
BB
would
here.
totally approve of this.
Yeah. I mean, and you can see I just cut up some bacon and kind of put it in the center of that. Now, the thing is with this, it takes like 7 minutes to cook this waffle because you're cooking such a thick meat of it. Like, BB, give that a look. You see that? Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy waffle. Did you just drop the laptop? What are you doing?
It slipped off the thing.
Yeah. So, again, this is nothing crazy. This isn't like my homemade recipe of waffle. I love a waffle. And now you get to have your bacon inside of it. So imagine you're on the road going into work or something like that. You just have the waffle disc and look.
So all told, how long does it take to make the waffle?
Like I say, it's about a 7-minute. It's 10 minutes to heat up the waffle or the stuffler, and then it's 7 minutes to bake it. So I cooked this one ahead of time. I cooked it this morning, and then you're going to talk a little bit later about the air fryer that me and you find fantastic, and I just reheat them. So it gives it a good crust on the outside. It's got a good crustiness to it, but a good cakiness in the middle.
You know what, Bill? What this would be good for is those fucking pancakes that. Sorry, I interrupted.
No.
Those pancakes at that breakfast place by your house that Michelle loves. You know what I'm talking about? That big baked waffle thing. Bill, we lost your volume.
BB.
The Apple ones.
Yeah. So you put a layer of wet waffle, put the apple pie mix, then the waffle. Michelle would love that. She would love that.
I don't know. I don't. What do you
He's got
think?
Michelle written all
You
over
should
it.
get one.
I should get one.
Yeah.
Guy
Yeah.
with diabetes.
Yeah. It's sugar-free syrup. This is the Log Cabin sugar-free syrup too. So
There you go.
try to do a little bit better for you. What do you think of that thick-ass waffle? I mean, I love waffle.
It's a lot of waffle.
And you can make really elaborate sandwiches and, like he was saying, pizzas, and you can do a lot of good
You
stuff
make a
with
hell
that.
of a panini.
Wow. I'm telling you, man. So far, I've had it 2 days now, and I love the Stuffler. My daughter loves it. My wife loves it. Looks like Steve's going to give it a thumbs up.
Like I'm telling, like Bill knows how much my wife loves those apple pie things.
Oh,
at Honey Jam's, the name of the place.
And
Yeah.
the impressive thing too is
Another
it cooks
Portillo
it.
property.
What's that, BV?
It's another Portillo chain
Oh.
property.
It cooks it all the way through. I don't know what kind
Mm-hmm.
of magicalness that plate does. The other thing I can tell you about the Stuffler itself, real easy to clean. I don't have to really do much cleaning. It's all non-stick all the way through it and everything like that. So Steve's got his half down. Steve ain't mucking
No,
about.
I'm here with here.
Yeah.
I gotta kill that duck flavor in my mouth, or smoke flavor, I should say.
Well, make a couple of these ahead of time. Heat them up in your Vortex air fryer and everything like that. I love it. I can't tell you enough.
Oh, that's it.
So again, it's by a company, Presto. Presto makes a lot of like rando breakfast items and stuff like that. And I'm just so far, I've been a big fan of the Stuffler, and it makes a pretty mean little waffle, and I can't recommend it enough. And like you said, Steve, if you can figure out kind of what your family's into, like you said, like taking that apple pie filling and putting that in the center and stuff like that, man, it's good. It's good
There
as
is
hell.
have you heard of Krusty's? So try their pancake and waffle mix.
Oh, like with a Z or something like that?
Yeah,
Krusty?
it's like KRUSTEEZ or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you.
Their pancakes are super fluffy.
Well, okay. So I typically make a low calorie pancake with the lowest calorie of the regular pancake mix, and then I put fat free Greek yogurt, egg whites, and stuff. That's not my traditional like what I do to keep low calorie and stuff like
okay.
that. So that's why I picked the Hungry Jack one. It's because it's lower in calorie.
All right, good theory.
I made it original so that I didn't want to give you my random flavor, because then you'd be like, "This tastes like shit," or "This isn't a regular proper waffle." They can tend to get a little eggier.
All right, so there we go. Duck jerky, not so much, but we kind of knew that going in.
Yeah.
But the
It's
bacon
very
stuffed
smoky.
waffle and the Presto stuffer, excellent stuff. If you're really into waffle, I'm not that big into waffles. I'll be honest with you, I'm not that big into pancakes either, even pre-diabetes.
really?
No. I love a breakfast sandwich, like an Egg
bagel, some
McMuffin
stuff
or
like-
a
yeah,
bagel
yeah,
sandwich.
I'm with you
But
on
as
that.
far as pancakes and that's my wife. My wife is all about them. Bill knows. Every time we go to breakfast, I'll buy him. She has to have the biggest diabetes pancakes she
Yeah.
can find. I'm just not that into it. to be
My
honest
my
with you.
go-to in the morning has been that sugar-free pancake syrup and an anabolic waffle, we call it. It's
For some reason, I thought you were going to say anabolic steroids. I like to have some syrup and
some D-ball.
steroids. What?
Some D-ball.
it's good, man. I
So
love it.
as I'm eating the syrup, I bend over the counter and the other just ejects it right in my ass.
Well, it's nice because I can get them low calorie, high protein. That's what we've been trying to do on this diet and everything.
All right.
You're with me flipping tires and everything, so you're
fucking
good.
tires are tiring. The sleds are the worst. They just wipe me out. Anyways, we're not talking about fat guys working out. All right, so let's get into some reviews this week. And I finally got to see some stuff that didn't suck this week, which has been a while. I'll be honest. First up, I did play Gears of War 5. Now, this is kind of like out of nowhere. This is Gears of War 5 DLC. They just added it to Game Pass last week. There was no real commercials or anything for it.
No hype. Yeah.
No hype. It's called Hive Buster. 3 brand new characters. I played it on PC. Looks marvelous on that PC with those settings cranked up. Keegan is the main character. He's a black guy, and he's got the weirdest mustache.
That's who you're.
Yeah, the little guy. Yeah.
yeah.
His mustache comes down, wraps around his head. I don't even know how you would grow it that way,
weird way.
but whatever. It's about 3 hours long. It's more Gears of War goodness.
Is it single player?
Single player or co-op. So me and you
Yeah,
could
that's
have
how
played
Gears
it.
always is.
It's a team of 3. One guy's a tall Irish guy. The other guy is a woman. She looks like she's Hawaiian almost, but they're not on Earth.
They
so.
like their factions. They always
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to do like, oh, this is so and so.
And they added some new features, so it's not totally stale. There's some new stuff. Like each character has his own special ability. Like the guy you are, if you hit triangle, I think it is, you automatically throw ammo down and you start giving everybody ammo. The other guy
like
is
a
like
supplier kind of thing, or
Yeah,
something like that, like a heavy
yeah.
haul supplier guy.
The other guy has a big shield that comes up and can block. And then the girl's hers is the most useless. You hit hers and she runs at him with a knife. But every time she does it, she gets killed. I was like,
Yeah.
this is the dumbest power.
Oh,
up.
the,
But it
reviver.
adds a little twist, a little something new to Gears of War.
So are they away from the Phoenix character and everything
Yeah,
like that? Are they
yeah.
away from Baird and Phoenix?
Yeah, this
and all
has nothing
that?
to do with the main cast.
That's what I'm
It's a
asking.
side mission that they're
Okay.
going to an island.
I like a good Gears game. I don't know.
Yeah, and you forget how fantastic those things look.
Yeah.
Then you start
Unreal
playing.
polish, baby. You
Yeah.
get that Unreal.
And it was perfect timing for me because I just did like the 50-hour slog through the Viking game,
Yeah.
which I liked the game, but God, it was long. So this is nice, action-packed, quick, 3 hours, good time. I didn't have to invest 42 hours of my life to get some movement on it, you know. Also, they got new skins out for the multiplayer, but I didn't unlock all of them. I forgot they still have the Terminator skins. So they got the exoskeleton, Sarah Connor, there's a lot of them from the new movie. And then also New Day is in there, but they were locked. I didn't unlock them.
Okay.
So you can unlock their skins only in multiplayer. So a lot of cool new things, all free with the Game Pass.
I guess the only thing I would ask you, I'd press you, what's different in it? It sounds like the special abilities based on characters, but the only
Yeah.
thing that's different.
Yeah.
But if you like Gears, it sounds like it's more Gears, which is cool by me.
And there's a new big boss enemy you fight at the end that's not part of the hive. It's like this bird dragon thing. So that's new. That was kind of new, but not really any new weapons. I didn't see any new weapons. Most of them I recognized, and the villain, the bad guys were pretty much the hive, or they're called the swarm. I'm sorry, I don't whatever they're called. So, and then the mission, you're on an island. It's pretty much Hawaii, but they're not on Earth. There's some other planet. So I don't know. And if you have Game Pass, it's absolutely free.
One of the best
Costs you
values in
nothing.
gaming. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
so
it. Yeah.
I highly recommend it. It's an 8 out of 10, a lot of fun. It reminds you of, oh yeah, Gears is pretty damn good. And like I was telling you earlier in the week, how they don't have a Halo Gears crossover game yet. They just don't want money, I guess. But
And like you said, I think sometimes you got to be reminded of how beautiful a Gears game can be. Like they're graphically are one of the best games, especially for
Yeah.
a console. They're like one of the best looking games.
now
you can
imagine
get.
putting it on a high end PC too. So it was like
yeah.
fire effects look great. You're floating down a lava river at one point, and
Cool.
yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in it. A lot of fun. It's like a big budget Michael Bay sci-fi movie. A lot of fun.
It's a Gears game. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like. Yeah.
You still got the chainsaw guns where you can cut people in half and all that stuff. So, big thumbs up from me. I enjoyed it.
What
I
is
enjoy
the
those
weird
games.
or the worst Gears game? It's probably that one that they went to the Baird guy, right? What
Yeah,
is
he
that?
was on trial or
yeah,
something.
there's
Yeah.
a weird one that they kind of got a little
Yeah.
off the main path, and that sounds like the biggest misstep that they've had.
Well,
in
these
that
newer
series.
ones, they've kind of moved the old characters out, and now,
They're refreshing it. A
yeah,
little
the
bit.
one character's the son of one of them, and so. But it all keeps going, and it's
the
pretty good.
locusts. That's what
The locusts, yeah, they call them the swarm a lot in the DLC. All right, now next up, this is the big one. I know we're a little late, so we don't got to worry about spoilers. Everyone's already seen this. So, the big ending of The Mandalorian season 3. Now, before season 2, before we go any further as our Star Wars nerddom, Bill, as a non-Star Wars nerd guy, let's hear your take on the final episode of Mandalorian season 2. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
of
Okay.
course. I liked it. It was good. Interesting. Like them pulling out the CGI Mark Hamill. The only thing that I was a little kind of taken aback by a bit was that it seemed like they just closed the loop a little bit too quickly. And then, as we were talking before the show, I mean, I guess they still have the ability to now transition this to some sort of battle to reclaim Mandalorian and whatnot. And I can see all these sort of, conflicted, Mando's confliction between his, duty and not wanting to be the guy, and the whole thing about not being able to give it up or whatnot. But all in all, I mean, it was a good ending to a phenomenal series. I hope that when they pick it back up, that they're going to be able to kind of keep the momentum. But I'm a little concerned there because not knowing what they'll do. But based on, I'm not a nerd either, so I don't know. I'll just talk about Clone Wars and stuff. That doesn't mean anything to me. But so far so good. I guess I give them the benefit of the doubt. This is one of the best shows I've seen in quite a while.
And Charles, what's your take?
Well, I told you pre-show. The issue is, and what BV's kind of touching on about, and it's they're morphing the show to basically give fan service to Steve and his ilk, and I hate it. And that's the problem. I think that it had its original take, and it wasn't hardcore original, but I'm saying it was doing its own thing. And then all of a sudden they realized, oh, we can answer all the other questions from the Clone Wars series because we have Dave Filoni in it.
Well, they're also kind of roundabout answering questions from the new trilogy also.
Well, how are we getting to that?
because they're saying the blood from the child is what's used to make Snoke, so they're answering that, and then also how they're going to build the Empire into
They're
the First Order.
slowly getting to those, and they're
Yeah.
mostly giving fan service to Clone Wars stuff. That's my whole take on it. The other thing too, I think that they squandered the return of Boba Fett a little bit. I think that could have been a bigger deal, and it was really low key and kind of not as climactic as it probably could have been. I don't know if you have an opinion on that.
No, I think
I think they could have made that a little bit like you could have had a little more holy shit moment, and
but
I
I
don't
think
think
they're
they
saving a
drove it
lot
home.
of that for his own show. That Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Which they're saying is going to happen before the next Mando season too. So like I said, I'm not a Clone Wars fan. We've talked about it before. I think that show's probably has 20 good episodes. It was 75 episodes long.
Yeah.
So my argument to all the fans of that, and you like the show, but you at least can admit its shortcomings.
I
A lot of people refuse to admit its shortcomings, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
it's got issues.
Now, also remember, it's not just Clone Wars; it's Rebels. Star Wars Rebels. Is
Oh yeah.
It's two series
because we're bringing in the Admiral guy.
that was Rebels.
Yeah, I just think that it
Little too
started
deep
out
divey where it wasn't
I'm all
originally.
I'm all for flushing out. I do think it's neat that they're kind of Marvel cinematic universing the whole thing. I think that there's something kind of cool about that. But all I'm saying is like. We're getting into, like I said, like, oh, we got all the people from that show. Let's lean hard into it. And it could have been its own thing a little more. And that's what I think is bumming me out. But we talked about it pre-show. I'm amazed that they can keep these things under wraps. I don't know how they do it. Like Steve says, they're kind of sequestered on a soundstage, but you still got to have 150, 200 people in production. Like, it doesn't get out. It's the one show that can pull off I had no clue Luke was in the episode. Did you going into it?
No, I knew there was supposed to be a Jedi coming at the end. That's all I knew.
But it could have been.
But all the rumors online was not him.
Yeah, it was amazing the way they pulled that shit off.
A lot of other rumors, but
So what's the Steve take on it?
just as far as the episode goes, I liked it. A lot of people online bagged on the CGI Luke. I thought, I'm a video.
What are they
gamer.
going to do? What are they going to do?
And I'm a video gamer, so I'm used to that kind of look. So it was no big
but
deal.
They got
for
no
me.
choice.
Yeah,
So you're going back. You can't have Mark Hamill. I mean, what are you going to do? He's 100.
Yeah, a lot of people say Sebastian Stan. That guy looks a lot like Mark Hamill. You could have had him stand in to play Luke, but whatever. It's the guy who plays the Winter Soldier off the Marvel movies.
I don't know.
He does look a lot in the face. He's taller though. He's taller than Mark.
Yeah,
Hamill.
but then they would be annoyed there because they'd be like, well, why are they trying to
Yeah,
pass
yeah.
off a new Luke? It doesn't make sense. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, Star
you
Wars
know?
fans know. The only thing I really didn't like about the last episode is the Moff guy, Moff Gideon.
He kind of went out like a bitch. He didn't
Yeah.
really do anything.
He knew the Mandalorian's coming for him, and his only plan was to hide the cell with a sword next to a baby.
Yeah.
That was your big plan.
The little baby Yoda cuffs, man. I love
you don't
it.
you don't get in a TIE fighter and take off with the kid, or
Yeah.
you don't have other troops coming in.
Well, and then they
his
also
main plan was pretty sketchy.
they Cyloned the shit out of those troopers. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like, this
yeah.
is just Cylons. Like,
I didn't
dude,
think
we-
about that, but yeah, you're
You
right.
did it's bad Cylons. I got Starbuck over here, and we're doing Cylons.
Yeah.
Like, what are we up to? You know,
But they wanted to do that scene with Luke which was kind of a throwback to the Vader scene at the end of Rogue One. That was probably the coolest I've seen Luke, actually do some ass kicking.
He was whooping that ass.
Yeah.
It was cool. I can't believe they held. I had no clue. No clue Luke was going to make an appearance. And
So
I had
every
no
season they hit you with a big surprise.
somehow.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what the next season's big surprise is. Now another rumor thrown out there for the Book of Boba Fett, they've contacted Samuel Jackson.
Did you reprising Mace Windu?
Yeah. Now if you remember, Mace Windu cut the head off of who? Jango Fett. If you remember the second movie.
I'll take your word
So
for it. It's been a
so
long
there's
time.
rumor that he lived after that fall out the window. And now Boba might be hunting him down. Found out, catch his words of it. So that'd be kind of cool.
See, that kind of stuff is interesting to me. It's just
That's
like I
all
said-
movie based. That has nothing to do with the cartoon.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. It's not even that it's the cartoon. That Clone Wars series and those Rebel series got such a fan base that is like, this is how all the Star Wars stuff should be going forward. And it's like, but you got to admit, it's clunky, and
Yeah.
you don't want it to be this clunky. I don't know. Like, I think that's my take on it.
But as far as the episode in the season, I give it a 9 out of 10. It was great.
I don't know how you can go any lower.
Yeah, it was great. Bill agrees. Right,
Yeah,
Bill?
well, one thing though, and just really quick, because it's funny that my introduction to Mandalorian was you guys sort of kind of discussing whether or not someone who wasn't a Star Wars nerd would get into it. I feel so much better off having watched this show, not having the background, because just listening to you guys going back and forth on all these little freaking pieces of it, it's freaking exhausting. Oh my god! Like I
that's
just
just the tip of
enjoyed
the
the
iceberg.
show, and sure, I could pick up the fact that Moff talking about we have the blood. Okay, that's going to lead to something. But the fact that we're now tying it to something very specific from a completely different set of series and discussing whether or not that's awesome or that freaking sucks. See, this is why I can't get into things like comic books, Star Wars.
BB's right.
sci-fi.
I mean,
Totally
Just-
right.
Really, is it really that deep? Can't we just enjoy
it
the
needs to
damn
be,
show?
BB. It needs to be.
Yeah.
Dude.
But
But
that's
I
Star Wars
think
always
that-
been that, you know.
That can be amazing. And I think that's. I'm not a big fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and everything like that, but like to be able to have that many moving parts all work together, I think that's cool. I just am going to say that, and I think that's. Like BB is saying, I think we do put a little too much weight as big time fans into it. Some are casual, apparently, according to you. But like, I think that's kind of neat, and like, you can't help but start to like, oh man, so this went to that, and because the one thing you got to admit, the Mandalorian show gets that because they definitely put little touches here and there that do all that time. They love that, so.
Yeah, I mean, it goes deep too. So a great example. You saw the Boba Fett scene at the end of the credits, right?
Yeah.
Bib Fortuna, remember him, the guy, the staff he's holding is a staff that was released with the figure back in the day, and he was never in the movie. That even blew my. I read that in articles like, who recognized that fast?
Star Wars people, baby. Star Wars.
So
people.
Filoni and Favreau do deep dive on some of this stuff, and it's like I was like, how would you even know that? Yeah, that got me. What?
I now know what it's like for other people to listen to me go on about freaking sports history. Oh my god! Oh, the staff was from this figure.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
they
just thought it was kind
I
of
saw
funny
that
how he
article the
rolled
other
up
day,
and was like, die, bitch."
and
That was it.
I'm thinking to myself, who's watching that and goes, "Oh, that's the staff from the action figure."
Flipping through an encyclopedia.
Who
Sadly,
thought of that?
a shit ton of people probably.
Yeah, because they made an article about it on one of my
Oh my
websites. I was
God.
like,
They
damn,
should
that's
be now.
But I gotta admit though, like, and Steve's with it, like they put that in there because they wanted that whole thing.
yeah.
so
They want that deep dive stuff.
yeah.
That fucking Star Wars fans, they eat it up, eating them victories like Jameis Winston.
Licking them fingers.
So, all right, now,
What would you give the season as a whole?
let's see.
Which season's better to you? And what
To
do you
me,
give?
because I like the deep dive and stuff,
Ah,
I'm gonna
see?
give. I like the second season better.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett was in it, so I give it second season a 9, first season an 8. That
Okay.
seems
And
pretty.
I would go opposites because of the same reasons and opposite of you.
Yeah.
I also the reveal of Grogu as we know him now was amazing to me. My head all but exploded. I was like, "It's Baby Yoda." I will never. Heather was laughing at me because like, dude, look at that Baby Yoda. I was freaking out. I loved him, and I still do.
So I'm interested to see.
wait, hold on. What's BV?
Oh, okay.
Well, because I don't have this confliction back and forth, I would go probably. I'm kind of torn between 9 and 9.5 for the entire series as a whole. I liked both seasons pretty equal. I just thought it was an all-around really good show.
I also like Bill Burr in it.
Yeah, he
Bill
was really
Burr's
good.
good,
That
man.
episode
Yeah.
was in the
Yeah,
second
it's
season.
good.
That's probably the best episode of the season. Really, he's all pissed off. He's
The
all-
effects in it are top notch too, man. It's like a movie. It's just like a movie. It's
It really
crazy.
is. Now, here's the thing. I'm curious to see how this show goes without Baby Yoda. Now, is it going to stay as popular?
Call him by his proper surname.
without Grogu. Sorry. Without him in it, is it going to have the same appeal? Like, I know my wife's going to be like, no Grogu.
Well, little baby Yoda.
Yeah, my wife loves it. She got Baby Yoda socks and blankets and
Yeah,
everything.
man.
Without him, does this show slip a little bit? I wonder.
I think it has to come with the action and the intrigue, and we'll see. I mean,
My solution was he finds a baby Wookiee.
Just keeps going through all Mando's nursery. What is
then the
this?
next season, he finds a baby Akbar. So he just keeps finding
Yeah,
baby
Akbar's a baby. Would be kind of cool.
Yeah, with the
Admittedly.
big eyes and stuff. Everybody be like, "Oh, baby Akbar!"
Steve's on his own. Look at little baby Akbar.
Just different baby.
But that was
aliens.
cool when they went to that planet and there was all those fishy type people.
Yeah,
That's
just
kinda
rename it
cool.
Mando's Daycare.
Star Wars is so much better than so many series, man. You start watching, like, dude, it's so good. One of those Mon Calamaris, dude.
Yeah, because the third
Evie
season,
knew that. I know he knew that.
There's no Baby Yoda. It's going to be deep dive Mandalore stuff tied into a little bit of the Clone Wars and stuff.
a little bit.
So
It's
I don't.
huge into the
I don't
Clone
know
Wars.
how much that's going to appeal to people.
There's no way that show would fall off a cliff if they decided to completely just have Grogu off with Luke training. That's a huge misstep. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that he made a point as he was saying goodbye that he was going to see him again and whatnot. It makes me wonder, not only will they find a way to have them cross paths in the next season, but if they might not even kind of run the show on two different paths concurrently, where they kind of go back and forth.
I don't
from
think
what
that'll happen, 'cause
Mando's doing and into Grogu's training.
They're gonna want to make two shows out of it. They got two paths. Like, wait a second. We got the Adventures of Grogu over here. We got
And the worst part of all this is we get nothing till next December.
It's all right, because Disney Plus has nothing from me until next December.
I know, so it's kind of a bummer.
It's all right.
that you're not getting anything.
We'll see you
until
later. I'm gonna
next
watch
December.
Soul, and then I'm gonna cancel that Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough watching it there. All right, so that's the Mandalorian. Of course, it's been a couple weeks, so people have all caught up on it, and we're just a little behind the times. But I highly recommend from all three of us to watch it. Be interesting to see what they do without Grogu from here.
God
on
damn
out.
it! You put some respect on his name.
Now, next up was a movie I caught on Netflix, and I had to tell Charles about it immediately. It's directed by Ron Howard. It's Hillbilly Elegy, starring Amy Adams and Glenn Close. You could argue the kid's the star. I don't know
so.
his name, unfortunately. Basically, this is a guy wrote a book about growing up in like southern Ohio. A little bit, his
With
family was
roots
white
to the
trash
Southern
hillbillies.
hillbilly Hollander
And he
people.
spent summers in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And lived back in and he had a grandfather named Papaw that worked at a steel mill. So I don't know if anyone follows the podcast, but I had a lot of flashbacks during this movie. I don't know how good this movie translates to people that can't relate
Well,
to
so
it.
if you read the reviews, a lot of the reviews are like they almost couldn't believe the story. Like it was weird. I'm like, wait, I can. Holy shit!
Well, here's the funny thing on that: the critics hate this movie. They gave it's like in the 20s, but the audience loves it. It's like at a 90 or 85%.
wow.
So
What are the critics? Are the critics slamming that like realism trap? Or
Yeah,
something like that?
and it's a white guy overcoming. It should have been. You should have focused on maybe a minority family or the people of color. So it's
But
kind
it's
of
his
it's
story.
yeah, I
He's
know.
a white trash guy from the
It's
South.
turned into a little bit of a political thing,
yeah,
which
wow,
is weird.
that seems a little harsh.
Yeah, so
You
they
can't
kinda
just
crap
wipe
on
out
it.
someone's past. You can't be like, no, you don't get to be that now. What?
Yeah. I don't know. So as me personally, I don't know if this translates to people outside of me. A lot of shit. This was very similar to me growing up. So this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I don't know if it translates to other people, but goddamn, there's a lot of similarities. Any thoughts on this, Charles?
Well, I'll tell you what I like. I like a good movie that's played for realism, and then they give you like the realistic pictures at the end. That was always good. Like Glenn Close looks like the granny and all this
Yeah,
kind of
it
stuff.
looked almost
Like,
identical, yeah.
it was impressive the way they got so close. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Me and you can't review this because it just struck so close to home.
Yeah.
Watching Steve, it was hilarious. I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. But you text me, it was because it got slammed. So I was like, I'm not into it. I didn't
Yeah.
actually know the whole story. And then you popped in, you're like, dude. So then I started watching it, and I just was cracking up. Heather and I were dying laughing.
It's not meant to
through
be
it.
a comedy, but it was the comedy.
Yeah,
of the
when you
year.
realize it's Steve's biography.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
His mom's a train wreck, always arguing with the sister and the son.
Yeah.
He pays for rehab for her. She won't even go.
Yeah,
Who's that
she's
sound
like-
like, Bill? Does that sound familiar? The mom slits her wrists. I mean, have you heard any of these stories before, Bill?
I do not recall that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
grandma stores the pop in the back porch. The Papaw.
It was good.
Jesus Christ, it was Steve's home videos. I swear to God. And Papaw has 2 daughters, just like Aunt Cindy and Mom.
Yeah,
That is the fucking
crazy.
trippiest thing I've ever seen.
And the granny and the grandfather going at it. and shit
Yeah,
all the
he's just a
time.
little
Yeah.
pudgy kid, and the mom's manipulating him all the
Yeah.
time. He's trying to collect football cards. I'm like, God, he loves Joe Montana. I was like, what is this? I started looking around some of that video camera in my room.
It sounds like a pretty big accomplishment for the kid to get to Yale Law School in the first place.
Yeah.
But
It
that's
really
the
is. That's the
redemptive-
only difference between me and him is he went to Yale.
Yeah, he succeeded.
I went to school craft. A little different, but man, dude,
I
don't
think
know.
we're a little skewed on this one. I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Yes, I do
I
too.
was in tears watching this shit. So
It was so the mom just like bananas all the time, like fucking just flips out on him all the time, just pops any pill she gets in her mouth. Man, this is so crazy. The only difference was there was no father in the picture. Other than that, goddamn.
Yeah, but
Bill,
he
if you
was-
get a chance and you knowing the Markey family, I highly suggest you watch this movie, and you're gonna be
All
like,
right.
goddamn, there are some similarities there. I'm just
funny.
telling you, it's crazy.
one of the funniest things I've had in a while.
Yeah, it was so. So I'm gonna be skewed. I want to see someone who doesn't know the story, but it's. I mean, it's based on the guy's life, you know. So
That's
it's,
why I think it's crazy that people are like, "This seems crazy." Like, why isn't he Mexican? Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
it's-
Mexican. He was a white guy.
yeah,
What are you
and
doing?
just- yeah, so it's
That's the harshest, weirdest critique I've ever heard.
yeah, it's very odd. How
Why
they-
is this PlayStation not an Xbox? Man. Like, wait, what? Like,
So the really the real critics are lampooning it, but like the people who watch it actually like
that's
the
a
movie.
weird critique.
Yeah, so Hillbilly Elegy, Netflix, highly suggested for anybody. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's probably one of my next to Greyhound. It's probably one of my top movies this year because ain't much to pick from. But
Greyhound's fantastic.
all right, next up, I watched Larry the Cable Guy Remain Seated. Larry the Cable Guy. The only thing I like that makes him stick out a little bit different from other comics, it's like one bad joke after another. It's like Rodney Dangerfield used to be, where it's like here's a one-liner, here's a one-liner. Where, you know, he just keeps going and
Does
going.
that
and going.
work in 2020?
It works for about a half hour, but the special is an hour and 10 minutes. So it's like, is he almost done? I find that kind of delivery, even Rodney wouldn't go more than a half hour. When you get, it's one bad joke after another bad joke, and some of them are funny, you know, and stuff like that. But it's just like, it's
You know what I'm saying? You know,
yeah,
okay,
get her
okay,
done, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, she's on
So
meth.
he has no ability to like, because I love when people start to like weave a good story. Bert
No,
Kreischer's
there's no stories.
fantastic, and then the machine story where we're building up. And all
No,
this.
his
None of
delivery
that?
is very like Rodney Dangerfield's. Like one joke, here's another joke, here's another joke. Now, he's always been like that. So the Blue Collar
guess.
Comedy Tour, when I watched it, he was only on for 10, 15.
I'll tell you real quick. Larry the Cable Guy had like a travel type show that he was really charming and good to be the host of. I
Yeah.
enjoyed him in that scenario, kind of talking to people as he went around the country and stuff like that. Totally entertaining guy there. I'm not watching an hour and 10 minutes of one-liners. That's like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's the problem. So when I watched the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, he only had a 10-minute set. And this was before anybody ever seen him. And he came out, he had the hillbilly act like he has now, and it was a bunch of bad
tight 10
one-liners.
minutes of
But it's
one-liner,
funny,
yeah.
it's pretty funny and tight. You know, it was like,
Yeah.
stretch him out an hour and 10. It's like,
And he doesn't go into any stories or nothing.
It's
It's, the
there's
same.
but it's like, you know, I was at the Walmart the other night, and then they'll go into like how it's heroin addicts at the Walmart or something, and it's just one liner after one liner. And
Instead of saying like this one time I was there and like
yeah,
leading into
so
it, yeah.
it's a very Rodney Dangerfield-ish, but not nearly as funny as Rodney Dangerfield. You know, because Rodney Dangerfield's got the stick and the shtick.
But
he's
also,
got
I'm with you.
some
I don't
of the
think
shtick.
Rodney, at least not that I'm aware of, did like hour-long sets.
No, I always saw him on like Johnny Carson for 10 minutes.
riffing for 5-10.
Oh
and get
yeah,
off.
yeah. I imagine even Rodney for an hour. would
You'd be
probably
like, dude,
yeah.
I love you, Rodney. This is much.
So, Bill, your thoughts on Larry the Cable Guy? Have you seen him? What do you think?
Well, you know, when we previewed this a few weeks ago, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to watch it." I couldn't make myself do it. I
Couldn't watch it at all,
Every
or-
time I'm about to put them on, you know, I'm flipping around on Netflix or whatnot, or you know, whatever streaming stuff. I'm like, "Oh, I should probably watch the Larry the Cable Guy thing now." It's just, yeah, you know, I don't know if I
There's
really want
anything
invest
else
in
to watch as BB?
Yeah, and so I kept finding other things to watch instead. I even found myself going to YouTube and watching YouTube videos.
What rabbit hole did you? Wait.
I guess somewhere subconsciously, I just didn't think it was going to be good when it came right down to it, and I didn't want to waste the hour and 10 minutes.
What rabbit
Because I
hole
was
were
pretty
you in on
confident I'd only
YouTube,
get through
BB?
about 20 minutes before falling asleep anyway.
YouTube. What were you on? What rabbit hole? Tell us a story there. Where were you?
I've got a YouTube problem. I'm on YouTube all the time now. It's horrible.
Give us the hole you fell down the other day. Mine was Lego. Oh my God, Lego.
Mine was that fucking colored pencil guy. I sat there watching colored pencil things. Like, fuck all these people. Why are they more talented than me?
What do you got, BB? What is? Give me a random rabbit hole you just fell down.
Well, I've been kind of getting back into guitar playing recently.
It's a good quarantine thing, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I got myself. So I'm doing this online lesson program thing with Fender, with one of the big guitar makers, and so I found myself on YouTube flipping around. I was looking at reviews, and next thing you know, I'm looking at very specific things like how to modify certain parts of your guitar, like how to put locking tuners on your. And I'm watching these DIY guitar modification or maintenance videos, which I'm not going to do anyway.
So that's how that comes apart. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like, well, all right, I don't know if I really want to, some real minor things are fine, but then I look at it like, that looks like it's pretty extensive. Like, I don't know that I'm ready to start taking the entire guitar, ripping it apart, and taking the neck off of the body, and like, I'll find a way to screw that up. But yet I watched it for various videos for about 3 hours.
I'm telling you. YouTube.
So Larry the Cable Guy remains. He's not terrible. He's not great. He's probably a 5. I mean, if it was probably 20 minutes, it'd probably been really good. But
what do you do with a Larry the Cable Guy? Like I said, that travel show was good. It's a 20-minute format.
Why he's not a neighbor on a sitcom somewhere, I have no idea. Like he'd be the perfect wisecracking neighbor that comes in every once in a while, and makes a couple.
I
cracks
guess the argument is they just don't have those type of shows anymore. I think that those
the Big Show got canceled. So
damn it, there goes Larry's opportunity.
there was this chance.
There's not any of those like traditional, like you said, like King of Queens type things. Those we joke all the time.
CBS still has them for some reason.
Bob Hart's Abishola.
Mom, I mean they have them. So maybe he needs to be at a CBS show. I don't know. Maybe he could be like the new neighbor of Cedric the Entertainer on Neighbors. I don't know. But like I said, he's a likable guy. But Howard 10 felt a little long for him. That's really he needs to be on a show with other comedians.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What about a reboot of the Beverly Hillbillies?
There you go.
Does that work in this year?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened, to be honest with you.
Reboot the reboot of the reboot.
Yeah, more reboots of reboots. And all right, so that's it for that one. Now, before you make your prediction, I'm going to tell you right now, you only saw one episode, so you hate it. Go ahead. I already know it.
I don't need your stereotyping of me. I'm an enigma that you can never keep tabs on because I actually enjoyed the show quite a bit. This is the best show on all of Amazon.
Lying.
It's a super funny premise, and I like the fact that all
Are you being sarcastic right now?
the superheroes are complete assholes.
They're all dicks.
When the deep guy told her to blow him, I was like, this is the most unbelievable.
Tell the people what we're talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Boys on Amazon Prime. I got an Amazon Prime membership because I can't get off this goddamn Amazon. I'm talking about leaving this YouTube.
We're going to have 4 waffle makers next week to review.
I got to get rid of Jeff Bezos in my life. He is taking over Main Street. I can't get off of the shit. But the point being, that show is super good. When old boy's holding the arms of his girlfriend, when the dash guy like ran right there, I was like, holy shit! But it makes perfect sense. These superheroes are living in these worlds. And then is that Elizabeth Shue?
Yes.
Oh, she's so hot.
Oh, there's a scene.
God.
There's a scene in the second scene where she comes out in lingerie.
Oh my God, she's smoking hot, dude. She just,
even at her age, she's still pretty good looking.
She is adventures in babysitting. Hello, but point being, this show is, and I'm in. It's don't spoil anything for me. Let me kind of unravel this onion as it goes on. But so basically, a random dude's girlfriend gets blown out by a superhero. It turns out all the superheroes are assholes in real life. He kills the one Baltimore mayor because they didn't take the contract the way it needed to be.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah, The Boys on Amazon Prime.
What's the main guy's name? Cal Urban, Keith Urban,
Carl Urban? I think.
Carl Urban.
Yeah,
He's
I
great
think-
at it too.
yeah.
Billy Butcher.
Yeah, he's
super
It
English.
is a very good show, and I didn't put it down, but I'm an episode and a half. I got through the first full episode, and funny premise. I think it's really good to get real with these superheroes and stuff, and
It holds
we'll
up even
see.
through season 2 too.
Oh, so we'll see. Yeah, it's funny. They've basically monetized all these superheroes.
giant corporation
Yeah,
run
it's a insanely good premise, and it is by far should be on a real service and not Amazon Prime. Is what it
It's the
boils
best
down.
thing they got.
Yeah, that is the best thing on Prime Video, even better than that Borat movie and everything. The Boys
It's
is
way better than Borat.
yeah, but I'm just saying The Boys. I don't know. I've watched an episode or two of that Miss Maisel show, and I'm like, okay,
I didn't care for it.
that boy show's very good
For me, Miss Maisel was only good for the last 10 minutes of every episode when she does the stand-up.
because it was like a weird time. and all
Yeah,
that kind
well,
of
you
stuff.
had to get through 55 minutes of family drama. Then she does a stand-up at the very end, and gets arrested.
I'll tell you the one thing I didn't like, and it's my rub. And I think it's my own personal hang-up, is we're shoehorning in a little too much nudity already. It's like, I get your Amazon Prime, and I get you want the meathead Steves of the world to love this show, but
That calms down quite a bit.
does it? I hope it does, because because that's when
It's
Game
not.
of Thrones does that. I'm like, it's too good of a show to boil down to we don't know what to do, put a chick's tits or whatever. You know what I mean?
You're talking about the boys, right?
Yeah.
It dies down quite a bit.
Oh, it's good because
You
it
just
can
focus
be
more on the
better, I
violence.
think. But the Invisible Man's hanging out in the chick's bathroom and stuff, and I get it. That's funny at one point, but
They do it to establish what dicks they all are, and then
Yeah.
after that, they kind of get away from
Well,
it.
when they're doing blow and stuff like that in that one club and everything, I'm like, Jesus. So
Yeah, they don't give a
it
fuck.
show's very good. I admittedly, the first episode I watched it just today. In fact, I put it on there because I'm like, oh, let me throw Steve a bone. This is very good. I'm still not going to watch Stranger Things, but I will give you The Boys so far. I'm
Oh
into it,
man,
yeah.
I like the boys way better than Stranger Things. I'll
Oh,
tell you
okay.
that. Michelle likes the boys a lot too. So
It's a good premise, and I think that if you have Prime for anything else, you definitely should check that one out by far.
yeah. So there you go. I'm shocked that you only saw one episode. I thought you were going to shit on it for sure. Gears of War DLC, great. Reminisce, Mandalorian. All three of us agree on that. Hillbilly Elegy is my home video, so if you want to watch that, look at the
You
cable
want a
guy.
little background into Steve's life.
Yeah, Larry the Cable got a little too long. If it was 20 minutes, it would have been great. And Charles actually liked the boys. I'm quite shocked on that one. So there we go. Now, I ran across this article on a website, and it gave the top. It was actually the top 15 albums of 2020. And I put this on here because I didn't recognize any of these.
Well,
Except
you
for,
recognize Fiona Apple.
yeah, that's the only one. And now, at number 6, I didn't put number 6. Number 6 was Taylor Swift, so we would have recognized
cut
her.
it, yeah.
But let's go over the top 5 albums according to this website. The link's on there. I don't know what you. The first up was Fiona Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Has anyone heard anything off this? I'm not a Fiona Apple fan. I'll tell you
The
that.
only song I know by Fiona Apple's Criminal. I don't know anything. I didn't know she had current music. I'll be honest. I didn't know anything about it. And if you had asked me, especially in my household, it's all K-pop and T-Swizzle in my household. So that's all I get for modern music.
Bill, any thoughts on Fiona Apple?
Well, I'm kind of with Charles. She had 2 songs on her debut. It was "Criminal" and I think "Sleep the Dream" were the 2 popular songs. And I
That's
thought
got to
she
be
fell-
almost 20 years ago at this
Yeah,
point.
that's the mid '90s,
Yeah.
mid to late '90s. I think she. In fact, I'll look it up. I think she fell off the face of the earth after that. I didn't realize she was still
Well, she
even.
must have found a rope, came back to Earth.
um,
Kyrie
She
Irving
Boba
fled
Fetted
Earth.
back. Someone's got her armor, and she's back here.
"Criminal" came out in 1997.
Jesus.
So, yeah, my
So
senior year in
she's.
high
I mean,
school.
was she on the adult contemporary charts now or something? I mean, she's
I
got to
don't
be.
know. I mean, most of these people on here are from Taylor Swift and them. So the next up, the second best album of the year was Phoebe Bridgers' "Punisher." Anybody? Any clue?
Like, if you'd have asked me who had the top album, I would have said Taylor Swift, and then I would have said Cardi B with whatever that WAP one is or whatever,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Drake or something. I don't know what these are. I have no clue.
Yeah, I think Cardi
Never
B shows
heard
up.
of Phoebe.
She's in the top 20.
And what's the Halsey chick is another one I know of. I don't know these.
Run the
people.
Jewels, RTJ4. I'm pretty sure he's a rapper or they're rappers.
I've never heard of the group or like any music from the group, but I know Killer Mike, or the rapper. Is in
I
this
love
group.
Killer Mike. Who's that?
Yeah, it's Killer Mike and some white guy, I think,
Is who?
Run the Jewels.
in that group. Yeah.
Oh. Number 4 is Soccer Mommy, Color Theory. And number 5 is Chloe Exhale, Ungodly Hour. Now,
That's Exhale? It looks like Holly or something like that.
I don't know. So, I mean, here's some other top 20s. Haley Williams. I don't know who that is. Dogleg Melee is in number 17. I don't even know how to
What is Holly listening to at this point?
You know,
Whatever's on TikTok.
What's the one Weekend song? I know that song.
She hates that song because it's played too much.
Well, where are these songs at?
A lot of them are on TikTok. Charlie XCX. That's one she knows. Liana Hey Havas. I mean, I just wanted to put it on here to make us feel old and out of touch.
I mean, we are out of
and I
touch.
succeeded.
But I tell you what,
The only
about
weird one
Alejandro
is Fiona
Mendez.
Apple. I don't
Yeah.
understand why she's on there. She must have had a TikTok that went famous with one of her songs in the background. That's how fucking music people make it big. now.
that's 2020 music.
Yeah,
and someone
it's
at a random
based on TikTok. It's someone doing a random
or like
dance
an
in front of
Apple
it.
commercial or
Yeah,
something.
I mean, look at Fleetwood Mac because the guy was skateboarding, drinking juice.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a little look. Wanted all three of us to feel old, and I succeeded. Yeah, the only shock is Fiona Apple. Really, I can't believe she's still putting out new music. So, Bill, let's go into your picks. How you doing with this?
Do we have to?
Oh yeah, Miami screwed you.
Yeah, so along the theme that we've been going on in the last many weeks, this would have been not this past weekend, but the weekend before. My lock of the week was Kansas City at Miami, giving 7. They were comfortably ahead. Proceed to blow a 17-point lead late in the game and almost lose. They did hold on and win the game 33-27. So win by 6, which means BB loses again.
And Casey
That
was
was-
strongly up at one point in that game.
That
And
was
still
6
screwed Bill.
straight losses, which put me to 6-9 on the year, which is especially considering that I think 4 in a row I've been screwed late in the game.
Yeah, you have.
I think 3 straight weeks.
Does he
teams
play
have
for the
had a large-
Steelers right now?
have had big leads. So yeah, the last 3 weeks that I mean up to that point, the last 3 weeks to that point had been teams that have blown big leads and either lost the game completely, where like the Bears blew a big lead against the Lions and lost, or KC had a big lead against Tampa Bay and blew it and held on to win but didn't cover. So so that was bad. So as of that point, I was 6-9. And now my financial total for the year down 35.30 at $10 a week, bet. So this past weekend, since we didn't have the podcast, I did put my lock of the weekend, and I contacted Steve to let him know I was doing it, so there was no funny business. I took the Colts, giving Houston 7, and good news, I didn't lose. The Colts won by exactly 7, so it was a push. No money gained,
He didn't
but
win
no
either.
money
It's
lost.
push.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so completely. I guess that would technically make me 6-9-1, but I'm not counting.
He's the Eagles.
Yeah, so
What's up, Carson Wentz?
so I'm going to look at that as hopefully the breaking of the 6-game losing streak. And then for this week, I decided to screw the analysis. The analysis is getting me nowhere.
Yeah.
I looked at the
yeah.
Well, yeah, I looked at the point at the spreads and looked at the matchups, and the one thing that kept hitting me, and this is sort of violating one of my rules, but I don't really care. I've already lost enough anyway. So my lock of the week this week, I'm going to the Monday night game, and I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. They're favored by 7 at New England. New England is an absolute and total mess. I love every second of it. Scam Newton is a piece of trash and is going to lose his job. Love every bit of that. They're banged up on the defense. They're playing like, they score like 4 field goals last week. Buffalo should, and I think will, beat them by more than a touchdown, which probably means they'll be up 24 with like 7 minutes to go and end up winning by 6. But that's the pick. I don't have any stats or any sort of great analysis for it. Buffalo's good. New England's not. It's a rivalry game. Buffalo's playing to try to unseat Pittsburgh for the number 2 spot. So
That apparently isn't
that's
too
cool.
hard right now.
That's what I'm going with.
I'm at 60%. I'll tell you why. Because the NFL is a seesaw league, right? So Buffalo just got off a game when they scored 40-plus points. I don't see them doing it 2 weeks in a row. Not saying they're not going to beat New England. This screams 20-17 Buffalo.
An up and down.
An up and
game.
down week. So 60% for me. Charles?
I'm with BV though. New England is a dumpster fire. Like they're the 2020 of the NFL. I mean, they are terrible.
They're not Jets bad.
But I'm just saying they missed the playoffs. They're done. They got nothing to play for. Cam Newton is a bust.
Cam Newton's already talking about a new team next year.
Yeah, I'm in the 90s on this. Give me 95. I'm with that much with BV because New England is terrible.
Yeah,
So,
the only thing is,
and
if
Buffalo also has so much to play for. There's no way that they screw this up.
it's always that up and down thing, though. Because remember the one
I
week,
get your point, but
New England won 45-0 over the Chargers, and then they went out and lost the very next week. So
It's
it's
hard
very
to do it,
hard.
yeah.
It's that up and down in the NFL.
my
is hard.
opinion is New England sucks. You know, McAfee them dead. We McAfeed them dead several weeks ago.
Hit
They're
the
not
hammer.
good. Yeah.
All right, there we go. So, Bill, we're all pulling for you. And you got the tie last week, so you did not lose. You have that, and you are the Carson Wentz of picking.
Moral victories.
Now, we got a hard interview. I'm not going to go into detail because Charles has talked about this on the podcast multiple times. I went out and I came over here and found out what Charles has. He has the Instapot Vortex air fryer. The big thing about this one, and the reason I really like it, is that fucking rotating basket. See, my old air fryer, you put the fries in, it's in a basket, you slam it in there, and you cook it for 8 minutes, take it out, shake it, put it back in. The fries never evenly get heated.
Yep.
So you'll still get some soggy ones at the bottom. With the rotating basket on
It's
the
the game
Vortex,
changer of the whole thing.
that's what puts it up above everyone else.
Yep.
No one comes close because of that. I've made onion rings, French fries, and bacon.
You
All
can
the
also
essential
make a
things.
rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I saw
You can-
that.
Yeah, it
I
comes
saw the
with the
preview for
spit
that.
and everything like that.
There is a
for
Facebook
it, so,
group
yeah.
group page for the for the Vortex.
Yeah.
You can go there, share recipes and
I've
stuff.
told you before. It's a great. It is. We use it. I used it to warm up the waffles and everything.
Yeah.
We use it nonstop in this house. It's one of the main things to use. The only thing, and we talked midweek again, I can't get any extra pans. For some reason, extra pans are just not an option,
I
which
just said
doesn't make any
pants.
sense.
Why do you need
Oh,
pants?
No, I need pans. I want just a handful of them so that I can swap them out. And
Well, like I
clean
said,
the
I
other
bought a
ones
cheap
and-
set. And what you do is you put the tray in with the holes in it that comes with it, and then put the pan on top of it. That kind of works for me.
I don't know.
But
It doesn't make sense why I can't just give you $20 to get some extra pans. I don't understand.
I don't know. But out of air fryers, now I've had two now. This is hands down the better one.
And
It's
it's
that
'cause of the
rotating basket puts it above the top. That's
Yeah.
that's highly. So this is a great thing. It's
But you
110. It's at Target. I only seen it at Target. I haven't seen it really anywhere else. I don't think Best Buy.
That's why I
even
picked
has
mine up was at Target.
it. So highly recommend it. Charles highly recommend it.
You can use it as
Two-
a toaster, a regular oven. Just you want to make something quick and dirty. It is fantastic, people.
Yeah.
I can't tell you enough.
And air frying is healthier for you. You're not doing it in deep oil and stuff like that. So even though you still probably shouldn't be eating onion rings and French fries, but what the hell?
Chicken tenders, everything.
Yeah,
it's
so-
great, man.
And then, I bought little pizza dishes. So Michelle, Holly likes those little individual pizzas. She'll slap them in there. I usually Google search how long to do something. That's one thing I wish it would have came with, maybe a bigger recipe book or how times. I mean, it comes in a
You'll
instruction
learn.
book,
It just
and
takes
it's got
time.
like one sheet. So I always got to Google it. I'll be like, all right, wait a minute.
And
what do I
when in
Google?
doubt, assume it's going to burn faster. It always does. So just assume it's faster.
Yeah, the
'Cause it
bacon
gets
was
that
trial
little-
and error. I burnt one tray, and then
Yeah.
everybody else came out normal.
Yeah.
But very big thumbs up. Bill, you have an air fryer?
Yes, but I don't really use the air fryer, the dedicated air fryer. I have a New Wave Bravo 1800 XL. One of those things that kind of does like 12
That's like an
different
oven
things.
thing or whatever.
Yeah, that also has an air fryer function.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, like BB's got the picture up right there. It's that little basket that's right in behind BB.
That's the
That's
game
the game
changer.
changer. Yeah.
Yeah, without that basket, it's probably just like every other air fryer, and who cares? But that basket,
Yeah.
All right, so we got some new things to watch. Now, mind you, I did do this 8 or 9 days ago, so some of this may have already happened. The Voice season finale was coming either this week or last week. It came out. I could care less about this show. They've yet to produce a star out of 10, 20 seasons they've done, so I'm big no. Bill, what do you think of The Voice?
I don't think of it at all.
All right, he doesn't think about it. Charles?
It's not the preliminary share turns. No one cares. It's a
Yeah. It's that first week is good. After that, you just quit watching. Ryan Phillippe and Big Sky. This is actually the fall finale. I thought it was the season finale. I'm sorry, I wrote the wrong thing down. I'm a big no. I didn't watch any of this. Bill?
I forgot what you guys said it was even about. So
Yeah, it's the big drama on ABC, I believe.
It's a Twin Peaks ripoff, I think, is what it is. It's got a weird thing to it. I don't know. Ryan Phillippe's weird. Let me tell you.
Star Trek Discovery Season 3 on CBS All Access debuted this week. I did watch Season 1 and part of Season 2, and I realized I still hate Star Trek unless J.J. Abrams is directing it. So I'm a no. Bill?
One show that starts with star is more than enough.
Star Search?
I'm going to give Steve the same nerd review he did. Star Trek is not as good as Star Wars. Thank you.
Yes. All right, and then there's going to be on TV on NBC Time Person of the Year, a special presentation show. I think it's an hour long. Obviously, they're going to be blowing Biden and licking out Kamala Harris right on national television. Very awkward in front of families. I'm a big no. Bill?
Yeah, no.
What even is this? I don't even know how this is a TV
Every
show.
year, the magazine puts out as Person of the Year. And for some reason, they're doing
A whole half-hour show or
hour
something?
to an hour show on it. I
no.
don't know. No, I know. All right, now in theaters, there was a big one this week, Monster Hunters.
No, you skip.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tenet. That's
Yeah.
on video on demand.
Yeah.
You can pay $20 to see it. I saw it in theaters in Ohio. Saw it once. Don't ever need to see it again. I'm a
Chris
no.
Nolan and
Yeah.
Denzel Washington's kid.
Yeah,
from
John
Ballers.
David Washington and the new Batman, the Sparkle Vampire Robert Pattinson's in
Yeah.
it. It's not a bad movie, but I'm not paying $20 to see it again, so I'm a no. Bill?
What was this about again?
Time manipulation and solving.
Oh, no.
All right.
It's lack of options. It's much like the Queen's Gambit, as everyone's watching that on Netflix about the chess girl.
I refuse to watch it. I pulled the Charles on my boss.
Yeah, no, it's dead to me now.
Yeah. It's chess. I don't care.
The only reason why people are watching is because there's no other content. And
Yeah.
the same thing goes for Tenet. There was no other movies in the movie theater, so I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is amazing. No, it's the only movie you got. So I'm a no.
Yeah. Much better to watch it on demand or when it's free.
I'm rewatching The Hobbit in preparation of Lord of the Rings.
So now this is where I'm in theaters. Djokovic, I can't always forget her name. Mila Djokovic is back in another video game adaptation, Monster Hunter. They expected this to do huge in China, and it did terrible. So I'm a no. I'm not going to go see this one. Bill?
I'm also no.
Why is Mila Jovovich the only one who can do a video game movie?
I don't know. It's a good
The
question.
visuals of it look good. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I would watch. I can respect the 3D of it, but that's about it. I don't know.
Yep.
Is this the same Mila Jovovich that was in the damn Fifth Element?
Yes.
Yes. She's been doing Resident Evil movies for 18 years.
What is she, like
whole
106
Her
now
whole
or something,
career
or-
has been Resident
She
Evil
still looks
movies.
pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah, and just like Kate Beckinsale has been doing Underworld movies for 18 years. That girl was doing Resident Evil movies.
Find that one franchise, just milk that motherfucker.
Yeah. The franchise that nobody watches. Even Bert doesn't like.
Do
I
you
don't
look
know.
up Mila Jovovich's net worth? I would be curious.
I'm going to guess 25 million.
You think 25? I was going
That's
to
a
go.
lot of Resident Evil movies.
I'm going to
though.
go 15.
She's done at least
15.
Okay, first of all,
5.
damn, she's our age, Steve. She's only 45.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her big break was in that weird movie Ben Affleck, wasn't it?
I thought it was Fifth Element.
No, it was one before
Yeah.
that. Well,
Reindeer Games.
She's
no,
she's
that one
real
about the
weird
high
and
school
quirky,
kids,
too.
and he
She
wanted to
kinda
smack
reminds me of,
everyone in
like
the
the
ass.
movie
and
version.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of the name of
Damn.
that dumb thing.
What do you got?
Net worth $50 million.
Whoa! I was see those Resident Evil movies
What
pay
do I
money.
know, man? Make that money, Mila. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, good
50
for her.
mil? Dang.
She was in that bad Hellboy movie too. She played the villain.
Yeah, you did not like that movie.
No, I didn't. It was a bummer because I really liked the fucking first
Again, the
two.
great visuals on that one too.
All right, this next one, I mean, we all know this is coming. Wonder Woman 84, HBO Max on Christmas. Of course, I'm watching it with my wife and my daughter. Both want to see it, so I'm a big yes. Bill?
I didn't see the first Wonder Woman. I won't watch this one either. It's not my thing.
Charles?
I actually saw the first one, enjoyed it. Gal Gadot is gorgeous. Back to Elizabeth Shue being gorgeous.
Yeah,
Gal Gadot is a gorgeous human being.
Yeah, her accent helps her, too.
Yeah, she's a beautiful chick. And the first one was a good movie. So I don't know. I watched the second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at home. You know what I mean?
All right. Next is Soul from Pixar. It's going to be on Disney Plus on Christmas Day with Jamie Foxx as the main character. Christmas Day, we got 2 movies. Then I'm going to football. But yes.
No basketball. Steve,
No basketball for me. And then I'm going video games during the football. Bill, what are you, yes or no on Soul?
I think I'm more of a what. I've heard of it, but I don't quite. I have no idea what the story's supposed to be.
I think he's a jazz teacher who finally gets his big break, but he dies right before he gets his big break, and his soul is essentially trying to come back to life so he can have his big musical break. I think that's what it is. I could be
I'll
wrong.
take your word for it.
Yeah. And Charles?
Like I said, everyone's calling it the new Inside Out. I think Inside Out is the best Pixar movie. I don't care what anyone says. I love Inside Out. Fantastic movie. I'm super looking forward to this. I really am. I'm gonna watch it with the kiddo and stuff like that. And yeah,
Bill's confused.
What was Inside Out?
Inside Out was one with Amy Poehler, where it was the young teenage girl who she had all the different. It was like Herman's Head. You remember that show back in the day? And I just found that movie it's super funny and just
Pretty original too.
Yeah, I just loved everything. They had a weird way of looking at everything with Fizbo and all that kind of stuff. I love Inside Out. I have a soft spot for that movie, and it's great. So if this is going to be akin to that, yeah, I'm all in, definitely.
All right, so there you go. That's what's new this week. Of course, coming up at Christmas. Oh, I didn't put it on here. News of the World is coming out in theaters with Tom Hanks. It's a Western.
Oh, yeah.
Looks really good,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to a theater with no
Is
snacks.
that what he got
drink.
COVID for in Australia?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm a big yes on. Well, I'm not a yes because I'm not going to the theater, so I guess I'm a no. I'll wait for it on DVD or Blu-ray. But that's the other one that didn't make the list. So, all right, Charles, what's happening in Punch Your Face World?
I watched this event, and
what
it
was that?
I'm just
that was a Charles sigh.
because I'm just, I don't know. It's just-
UFC needs to fight for the troops, like
Ye-
fucking WWE.
Yeah,
in this
I don't know
special.
what to tell you guys. I'm struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
I watch it every week, but I always go like, "What am I doing?"
Why am I
Like sometimes I'm just like, they all went to decision. No one got finished. I get so annoyed when I get no finishes. I'm like, so Stephen Wonderboy Thompson got a decision over Jeff Neal, and Jose Aldo got a decision over Marlon Vera. I feel like Marlon Vera and Jose Aldo fought like multiple times at this point. I don't know. Whatever.
Sure.
I don't know. Anthony Pettis, who's a pretty big 185 that was in there, him and UFC are parting ways somehow. I don't know how that is. So that's kind of crazy too. And then the funny part is this Jake Paul guy. He's still trying to fight. That's the YouTuber Jake Paul who made Steve's meme of the year. As he started to pull one up, I shouldn't have brought it up, but. So he's trying to get these UFC guys to bite on him, and it's just hilarious because like everyone keeps saying that he's pretending to be a fighter. So now he's going to go after Ben Askren. Ben Askren's that really good wrestler guy.
Who cares about that though?
I don't care about any of it, but I think he'll get destroyed by whatever UFC person he goes against.
I mean, it's Diaz or Connor. Nobody else. Ben, who's gonna be like? Oh, Jake Paul's fight Ben Askren. Let's go rent that.
No one's saying that. He'll get a payday from it, though. You know they will,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Why don't he just come
He's
out and offer
gonna
to
get-
suck dick at this point? Listen, you fight me, I'll blow you. All right, come on. I mean, that's what he's
I tell
doing.
you what, I
essentially.
might, I won't rent it, but I'll watch it because he's gonna get starched by someone who's real.
well,
He is gonna be the meme in reverse. I'm telling you.
3 days later, he'll be on YouTube.
You
with
put
his-
a couple soup cans in front of these guys, and now they're believing their own shit. This is gonna get bad, and that's my take on it.
Why don't you
so.
challenge Brock Lesnar? He ain't doing anything.
Now
That pay-per-view I'm paying for. Charles, it's 50. Get that pay-per-view.
I would. I'd take back pop cans to get that much.
Stupid. He doesn't have a death wish.
Dude, he needs to fight Brock Lesnar.
I was Steve. I'll put that out there.
Lesnar Paul. Make it happen.
Might pay to see that one.
Yeah, because Lesnar not doing anything right now. His WWE contract's up.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, he's chilling in Canada in a farm.
Oh, he's not in Minnesota anymore.
No, he bought a
Whatever.
farm in Canada, I guess. So
He's like in Saskatchewan.
yeah, so you
Like
know,
way the hell up in the middle of nowhere.
he'll milk a cow, come down, punch fucking Jake Paul in the
Punch
face.
a hole through his head.
Oh my god, I want to see
I
that
would
so
kill
bad.
for that event.
Oh my god, I want to see that.
Please make that happen, Dana White. Please.
One. Yeah, Lesnar versus Jake Paul.
Don't test any of them. Let Lesnar go in there full roid.
Well, you don't need Dana White for Lesnar because he's not in the UFC technically. So man, we need that to happen. Pat McAfee needs Ellen DeGeneres' job, and Brock Lesnar.
Pat
needs
McAfee needs to commentate with Snoop on the event.
That'd be the best. That'd be hands down the best. All right, so we got a little bit of news. Nothing too exciting this week, but the big new Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out. It will be released on HBO Max, but it'll also be hitting theaters. They gave us a date, April 16th. Weird kind of date, missing the summer, so it makes me wonder if it's kind of a stinker. I don't know. And also, you're thinking it's only 4 months away and no trailer.
Who does Mila Jovovich play in this?
Yeah, she's Sonya Blade.
Yes.
So she actually plays all the characters.
Oh, okay.
So new Mortal Kombat, April 16th. Also, I didn't have it in the news. Bill saw it. I saw it. If you're out there, go to YouTube. You can check out Coming to America 2. There's a trailer out there. They're still playing the
When does
same
it
characters.
When is it coming?
March 5th.
March 5th.
On Amazon Prime. So you got to keep your Prime a little
No, I'm
longer.
not.
You need to get the year one. All right. Now, here's an example. We always debate about this of Google bailing on more shit. So Google had a big Home Max, it was called. And basically, it's a giant speaker. So it was more for if you wanted music throughout your house. It must not have sold because they axed it. So that is gone now.
Well, I was going to bring up one thing, and again, I'm full Jeff Bezos in this house. We got a lot. We're upgrading to a lot of these shows now. I like these Echo shows to be our main predominant Alexas in the house. They're really nice. They got the ones with the 8-inch screens in them and stuff. What's cool about them is you can also play Netflix and Hulu on them, which is kind of cool. So, like, I swapped over to the one in the kitchen. And now when I'm doing the dishes or whatever, I'll throw a show on while I'm doing the dishes and stuff. It's really kind of a handy device. I didn't know that they had that ability until I just saw like an email that was like, "Oh, watch Hulu and Netflix." I was like, "Cool," and it works really well. So,
but can you get YouTube on it?
I don't know.
Probably not. It's a Google thing.
Yeah, but you probably should be able to watch The Boys and stuff on it. Maybe. Yeah.
So just another example of Google bailing on more shit. But surprisingly, not bailing on Stadia yet.
But they still have speakers, don't they? What is the? I don't understand what you're describing to me when you're calling.
It was
like
okay. So you gave me that little Google
Yeah.
Home, right? So imagine if you were really into those top 5 albums that we talked about earlier, and you
So
just
you
wanted,
need your Fiona Apple.
you want to jam Fiona Apple through your. It's a really big one. It's
like
basically
their
a spe-
Sonos answer. Or
Yeah, and it
something?
was supposed to be for people who are really into music. And
the
whatnot.
audio file
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Don't those
yeah.
people just offend you? They offend
They're
me.
annoying. They drive me nuts.
Because like I love my Alexas throughout the home. Turn on Pandora and it goes through the
I hate
house
it when it
and
goes.
everything.
That sounds a little tingy. Fuck you and your tingy.
We probably on tinny to someone right now as we're
Yeah,
talking, but I
right.
don't give a shit. I try my best, people. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
So that's just another example of Google bailing on shit. They have a habit of doing that. All right, next up, EA acquired a new studio,
This is a crazy one to me.
Codemasters. Now, Codemasters are big in racing games.
They got into a bidding war over this.
yeah,
they
and
were
ended up paying $1.2 billion.
that's with the B people.
With a B, and like I said, they're F1 racing and Dirt are the most popular. The Dirt series
Dirt's
are probably their 2 most popular games. English studio,
Very big deal back in like old school PC kind of thing. That's where the Dirt franchise, the rally type stuff, and all that kind of came. But again, they got into a bidding war with another company. They settled at 1.2, but it didn't start at 1.2.
Yeah, it was less than one. It was like 700 million, and it
Yeah.
ended up at 1.2. I forgot the other company they got in a bidding war with, but yeah. And now, finally, when we last had a podcast, we were telling you the reviews for Cyberpunk 2077 were good. Well, what a difference a week makes. So on the current system, Cyberpunk 2077 runs like Play-Doh. Apparently, everyone
And
looks
I just
muddy.
learned, so you can't get this natively for an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 version. Those are not out. So the only versions you can get are Xbox Ones and PS4s up enhanced in the next gen systems.
Oh, really?
Did you know this?
I did not
didn't
know
either. Someone schooled me up, and it makes sense when you hear it. So there's not a native version of the next gen stuff.
So Sony and Microsoft have pulled this game from their stores. The game still made a shit ton of money.
It's still sold like some 12 million copies.
Yeah, and it's huge. It's still the number one game on
But
Steam.
did you see
and
the
stuff.
stock for the CD Projekt
They lost
Red?
50 million or
Yeah,
something like that?
crazy. Yeah.
So it's a clusterfuck. So
It looks legit broken. Steve brought up the fact that you can pull up the memes about pull up some stuff about the Cyberpunk, just broken Cyberpunk jank.
Yes.
Oh my god, like shit's clipping through. I saw one video where a dude's driving in a car, and all of a sudden his car just flips like it's a ramp. It's just like, whoa. Dicks are hanging out on customizing character screens and stuff.
Well,
it is super
you
broken.
gotta have an electronic dick hang out. every
You're
once in a while.
getting the PlayStation 4 version for Christmas, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm waiting until mid-January before I play this
Oh,
thing.
you are? You're not
Our
even-
nephew has it, Christopher. He's been playing it. He's playing on an Xbox
How
One.
is it?
He said it's playable, but there are some weird shit.
Oh,
All
okay.
of a sudden, someone will look like they're on Roblox walking by.
Oh.
So he said it's real weird. I've never seen such a busted game and such an anticipated game all at the same time.
Yeah, but you got to admit, because I had this conversation with some folks at work. You know that Sony and Microsoft are the problem with this because they are like, we need your game this holiday. Like, we need, because there's nothing on those consoles. Like,
Yeah,
you know, that it only got, so then they allowed them to say, hey, look, there's some jank to it, but we'll fix it. So just put it out, we'll fix it. And then it came out, and oh shit, we didn't fix it. It was a turd, dude. And now I think that Microsoft and Sony are leaving that company out to dry, is what I think is happening.
Yeah, yeah. And there was rumor that Witcher 3, I don't remember because I didn't buy it at launch, was janky too. And then in 2 months in, it became the game that it is now. People just forgot.
I never
rose the
played
glass.
any of those games. Have you
I played
those
Witcher
games?
3. I did play
It's
it.
a Polish studio, I want to say.
Yeah,
CD Projekt
yeah.
Red's from Poland and stuff. It's
Oh, speaking of Polacks. Happy birthday to John Wasman. Our uncle turned 73 today.
oh wow!
Yeah, so
Congratulations!
there you go, an old Polak there.
wow! Hello.
So I forgot all about that until you said that. But yeah, it was Cyberpunk 2077. Man, I've
You're
never.
not gonna play it. What are you playing on Christmas?
Well, I got the new hockey. I got the new golf, and I
Did
got.
you see the reviews on that VR Medal of Honor game?
Oh, they're bad. Yeah, so I want to wait on that too.
Yeah,
I already told Bill I'm going to take the golf, and I'm make my made up golfer's going to be Shooter McGavin.
Shooter.
So yeah, I'm on. Yeah, I got the golf, and I also have that Phoenix Rising, that new one from Ubisoft. But
I don't know that
it's
one.
all about Greek mythology. So he's got like Cyclops and stuff in it. So those are the three I have that I'll be playing. But there you go. So that's going to wrap us up. But we got a preview for next time, which we don't know what day or time that may be.
Sorry, I work in the hotels.
We're going to have an end of the year thing. Charles is going to give you your top 10, his top 10
Streaming
shows,
TV shows,
streaming
kind of thing.
TV network. I'm going to give you
I already know
movies.
my number one, and you're all gonna hate me for it.
Yeah, probably it's going to be a British. It's going to say British something. Or The Crown.
Oh no, British baking show time.
Yeah, or The Crown. I don't know which one. Me and Bill should we should bet on it. Wait a minute. I don't know which one.
It's the baking show.
Oh, yeah. He was a little lukewarm on The Crown this season.
It wasn't as good.
Yeah, so. And it's not The Mandalorian. The baking show's going to beat The Mandalorian.
What was my last year pick? Was West Side versus the World. I got.
Oh,
I got
yeah,
it
yeah. You
out.
love that. I'll be doing games and movies, and Bill's going to come up with the top 10 sporting moments of this year, as far as maybe when COVID closed the NBA down, or maybe there was no NCAA basketball tournament. Bill will have a lot to pick from. for
Those are
this year.
top moments.
No, I don't know. Whatever you want to
Oh.
call it. You know.
I don't. I have no idea what number one's going to be yet. So.
Yeah, see, I'm just throwing out suggestions. You know, I'd listen to
I'm
me.
sure you won't like it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Super Bowl was in this year, so I mean, there's a lot of things to pick from. I do have a minor rant, though. All right, so if I'm going to watch basketball, I can go to ESPN or TBS, and I know that. Fucking NFL is getting annoying. There's a
They've
game
been
on
annoying.
Saturday.
I can't find the shit, dude.
Yeah, it's only on Amazon Prime.
It's only on Amazon.
Yes,
Prime?
there's a
Wow.
game on Saturday. It's only on
Didn't
Amazon
know that
Prime.
was even a possibility. Wow.
And then the NFL Network has been chiming in, and I don't know if you know, AT&T Uverse got in a pissing match with them. I don't have NFL Network.
it's not even an option.
Yeah,
for
I
you?
can't even watch it.
Yeah.
So it's like they need to calm down with all these exclusives and crap.
Yeah, it's
Fox,
hard.
CBS,
And Amazon Prime one. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Wow.
they just said on the radio today on the way home from work. I'm like, Amazon. I have Amazon Prime, so I'll probably watch.
But it's just the point.
yeah, it's like, why do I got to launch a streaming app to see an NFL game? It's getting annoying. So you got ESPN's got games, NBC's got games, ABC, CBS.
The NBC
You got
ones are
Amazon
the
Prime,
kookiest
NFL
ones.
Network.
Yeah.
That's 6 different options. And then Bill's got the Sunday Ticket. You're at 7 right now. 7 different options to watch a football
And then the Sunday
game.
ticket's just the other or Fox and CBS streams is all they are
Yeah.
kicking to BV.
So that's a little annoying. And
I didn't even know
it's
they were
kinda bullshit.
streaming a game on Prime. That's crazy.
They did it last year for some Thursday night games too.
Did
Yeah. So, any thoughts on that, Bill?
Yeah, it's pointless. They're just anything else they can do to monetize it.
Yeah. Oh, before I let you guys go, did you see what the NHL is going to do? I saw this on the news. So those helmets they wear that will say the New Jersey Devils, pulling them off, they'll say Progressive Insurance or whatever company they can sell the logo to make up for not having crowds. That's what they're doing. They're selling advertising space on their helmets,
Wow.
and each team gets to make their own contract with.
Is there like
whoever.
a size thing? Like the NBA's got the little 1 inch by 1 inch.
It's going to remove
thing?
the whole team logo, and it's just going to be whatever company pays to be on those helmets.
Whoa.
They do realize that people aren't watching it on TV either, right?
Yeah, I guess, but they don't care. They're going to sell it to Progressive or whoever. They showed that on ESPN this
Are
morning.
they bubbling for the season or what
No.
are they?
No,
So none of the leagues are bubbling this season?
but they've really condensed their schedule, and like so, they kind of grouped everybody where they're at, and then they're playing like this
within that coastal area or region,
so-
if you will.
Yeah, so like, I guess the Red Wings are going to play the Blackhawks like 8 times or 8 series. So everyone in the division you
Keep
play
it
8
close.
Yeah, so they're limiting travel, huh?
How are the Canadian teams playing? I thought didn't the Raptors have to go to Florida or something because
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if well, they're not starting for a while, so I don't know if the Canada regulations are going to drop some by then. But basketball is just doing it normal. They're just going place to place, and
I don't know. It sounds like at the rate we're going, we all should be getting vaccines soon. I saw that we just got 100 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine and everything.
Yeah.
So 2021 has got to be better.
and not everyone we know.
sure
My
the hell
wife's
hope
going to be the
so.
first one with
Yeah.
the vaccine.
Yeah, BV's hopeful. Steve's. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, at 2021, we've got to get back to some kind of normal. It's just there's no way that we can't at this point, right? People, I don't know. I'll see everyone next year. It should be normal. Like there's no way. I need to start traveling again and just like getting out of the house a little more, not worried about shit. And I need my job to get back to normal so we can do a normal show on the same day and
Yeah,
stuff.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you think about 100 million doses, that's at least 50 million people, right? Because it's 2 doses a person.
Yeah.
That's 1 in 6 that should have it. At that point, like, okay,
Let's get
like,
rolling.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you think that 20? What is your what is the Steve opinion on when the world gets back to normal?
Next fall.
Next fall?
Because
Do you think we're going through the summer?
Well, they said, according to Mr. Fauci, most of the vaccinations and stuff will be done probably late July.
Jesus.
So you give a month for screwballs and people who don't want to do the stuff. So, yeah, probably
Jesus
fall.
Christ.
So I think next football season will be fine, and even then, I
The
think
school year will be fine.
school year will be fine too. Yeah.
Damn. I was hoping that like I'd start to see like my family and stuff start to get like inoculated or whatever in the early spring is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
BB, you have an opinion?
yeah, I'm optimistic but really really fearful at the same time. Like this all seems like too quick and easy. So what if there's some downfalls or some issues with some of the we find issues with some of the vaccines or
Well, we're all gonna have Bell's palsy. It's cool.
well yeah so
We're all gonna be like Jr.
I think it should be relative. See, what are we talking about? Part of it is what do we consider back to normal? Or we can just freely go outside the house without,
Yeah, there's
being
no
in
more
lockdown?
waiting for your governor to bring down some restrictions every other Sunday or whatever it is.
Yeah, I would hope we would be there by summer, no later
gotta
than
be.
fall. But the thing is I'm still just not confident that everything, the vaccine will come and everything will suddenly just work towards a smooth transition back to normal. Like, we're not that kind of country. There's going to be other issues. And
Steve's like the idiots you gotta wait for.
the man works in mysterious ways.
Well, you
and
got at least 50 million people that aren't going to take it.
And that's good.
Yeah,
It's just puts me further ahead on the line. that's the way I look at it. Juice me up, people.
I don't know.
I want to
I'm
go travel. I want to go see the world again. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm a firm subscriber in the thought that don't ever think that it can't get worse, because it can always
Boy,
get worse.
BB's super optimistic today. And
It's
Merry
just-
Christmas.
The thing is just,
ladies.
no, everything seems like it's gonna head in the right direction, and I'm hopeful, but I'm not assuming anything.
So you're saying I'm lucky Dad gave me 9mm bullets for Christmas.
Yeah, BB
So when the apocalypse
fair.
hits later this year, I know, fucking uplifting
Tell
fellow.
ya.
You know what I'm saying?
So what? And again, going around the room, what is Steve's plans for the Christmas next couple days? Here we are. It's the 23rd as we're talking to you folks. Christmas Eve is tomorrow. What's Steve's plans?
I will be at the Henson's at around 4 or 5 p.m. tomorrow with a lot of KFC chicken. And Michelle will be making her cheesy potatoes. So we'll probably spend the day there. Christmas Day, I will be doing nothing. I'm going to watch those movies, sit in my drawers, and make breakfast for the wife and kid. And then we got a frozen lasagna we're going to eat for dinner.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not leaving the house all day Christmas.
And you're gonna do your family Christmas, you, your wife, and your daughter on Christmas morning.
Yeah, and then she'll bail about 5 to go see Smoochies.
Smoochies.
And then go get her
Smoochies.
custom PJs to fit in with the family.
Oh man.
And then Monday, I will be taking your niece to the hospital to get her cyst removed.
Oh joy.
Yeah, that's
Busy
my
weekend.
excitement. Yeah.
BB, where are you at for the holiday? What do you got going on?
Well, tomorrow evening, I'll be with the in-laws having dinner, but it'll probably be just dinner. Christmas Day, we'll go back to the in-laws for a few hours, probably do dinner and
2 days
and
again.
gift stuff. Yeah, this is going to be the biggest sort of like extended exposure in quite a while. And then Saturday morning, we're heading to Michigan. I'm doing a very abbreviated trip. I'm driving out Saturday morning, planning on leaving Monday morning. Just hotel and the family, and that's all I'm doing. So we're gonna do the Christmas, but that's it.
Oh, crazy! And then my family, we're doing everything virtual. We've already done the exchanges and everything like that. And then my own family, we're gonna do it Christmas Eve night. I've got to work all day Christmas, so I'll be at the hotel. So crazy.
Sounds exciting. Not really.
Ha.
Of course, you can catch us on fatguyslittlepodcast.com, or you can catch us on Apple iTunes or Google Play or Spotify. I just set up my Spotify, and I have 5 podcasts I listen to. One of them is ours.
The other one's Rogan. What do you got for the other 3?
Stone Cold,
Oh, Stone Cold's on there?
Leo Laporte,
I like Leo Laporte. Leo Laporte's on like a regular podcast one though.
and I picked some random video game one, but I haven't listened to it yet. so
Bombcast. Get the Bombcast,
Yeah,
Steve.
so-
Bombcast is good.
I got some podcasts on there, so you can on Spotify listen to those.
2 Bears, 1 Cave is another one on
Oh
there, too.
yeah. Well, Bill Burr has one on his own too. The
Monday morning.
Club.
Yeah.
And before we go, I want everyone to vote Spooge. Make sure Spooge in 2020 because
That was
everyone
hilarious.
needs more Spooge in their life. We want to make America Spooge again. So there you go. All right. Until next time, this is Steve.
And Charles.
Catch you next time.